would start with an intro like that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Peace, bless, love. Give thanks to that man above. You're now rocking with Mr. Uncommon.
What's going on, y'all? It's the Fresh Prince himself, Izzy Finesse.
Hey, yo, you heard? You already know. It's the one and only Jay Confident. Remember, y'all, don't lose sight of who you are or can be. Every experience has its element of magic. Let's go!
Let's go. Once again,
my friend.
Bro, this guy's like,
he's like 10-0.
yeah, he's undefeated. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I'm trying, bro. I mean, I try to make it special for the guests.
Undefeated.
I said that again. Let's go.
Undefeated.
Fucked them up there.
Nah, but yo, before we get into anything, y'all, please, like, share, subscribe. Also, follow us on Instagram at Off Experience Pod.
Also on TikTok. Also, y'all, shout out to them people who are listening on audio out there in the States, out there in the countries, out there in China, Europe, UK, London. Yo, we appreciate y'all, man. It's Off Experience, y'all. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
Great. Yes. All right, y'all. Listen. Today, we got a little bit of magic going on.
It's just like magic. We ain't talking about Magic Johnson. Right?
Nah. I'm Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
We talk about magic of comedy.
Woo!
Right?
Magic. I mean, you can kind of compare him to Magic in basketball because Rasim also got that lefty work going on.
Okay.
With the little,
Okay.
little 3-point specialist over here.
Yeah. Let's get it. Listen, we're gonna let you introduce yourself. Hit it, man.
Yo, it's Fan Magic. Like you said, Fan Magic, the comedian. Honestly, more of an entertainer. You're gonna learn today. It's actually my first interview as a comedian, but I've done a lot. My resume speaks for itself. We're gonna speak. I actually used to be Fan Magic, the Fresh Prince. I can't say that here, but it's Fan Magic, Magic City. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Oh, shit.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. You see that?
Yeah,
Nigga slit you real quick in the rib, nigga. Bow.
Heard that, so I can't do that here.
Yeah, sure, they got tucked there.
You got us, son. Hey, it is what it is. Fuck it.
Oh, man, good shit.
Welcome
good
here,
shit.
bro. Welcome. We appreciate you
Yeah,
coming.
bro. Pleasure having you here, bro.
Yes, sir, man.
It was great. Even seeing you from the comedy show that we went to on Casas, man. That was a great experience, bro. That was really great.
Yeah, I say even before that show, like I watched For the Money's interview. I watched a few interviews, and I'm like, oh, that setup is. I need to get there.
Yeah.
I'm happy I was able to like prove myself a little bit.
Yeah,
we appreciate.
Now we here.
We're here. Well, listen, now that you here, right? We're gonna get to the essence, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because this is what is about here, Off Experience, just people's experiences, how they raised, childhood, to where you got molded onto being now, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's get into it. How your where you from? You know what I mean? Nationality, I guess. You want to come out? Because I know you're Puerto Rican. I mean, I'm gonna say it out there. Right? Throw a bomb for PR, bro. You already know. I'm just gotta throw it out there.
Some people don't even know that I'm Puerto Rican. Honestly, this is the first time on camera I'm actually saying I'm full Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest of 5, so all my siblings are half and half. So my block, I didn't want to be the nigga left out. You know what I mean? But I'm the different father kid, and I didn't want that. So I'm the only one that looked Dominican. So you be like, yo, your name is like you half and like yeah, I'm half and half. So my whole life, honestly, people gonna watch this shit and be like, nigga lied to us.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was Dominican too.
Nah, bro. I scanned his thing, his page, bro. Like he's straight PR, bro. Like he represent PR.
I never black, like Roberto Clemente.
Hey, you know what I mean?
Represent. Check it. Mm-hmm.
So where you how you raising, bro? Where you from?
So I'm from the Lower East Side. I was born like Alphabet City. You know what I mean? Like that's this different side. Like once you cross Houston, it's the Ave or whatever. So
New York.
Yeah. So I was born on the Ave. And I lived there with my moms, and then my moms had moved out, but I stayed there with my grandmother, my pops. I spent one night with my pops outside of jail.
You said outside of jail.
Outside of jail, my pops died when I was 8, but I've only spent one night with him. And it was every weekend I had to go see my pops, so I was staying on the Ave. But I'm from LaGuardia, which is up what we call up the hill, Chinatown shit. So
What the hell? So like, how is that? Like, I always wanted to ask somebody like, how is it like living like, cause obviously it's like a hood, but like down the block though is like the city. So it's like
I'm an 88 baby, so not in 1995, 96.
Yeah.
Not even in 2000. It wasn't. I mean, all that shit to do. When you had, you always had like Avenue A and all that.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a different time. Like we don't honestly. that's East Village. We don't consider that. Like when we talk about the LES, we talking about
Out of the city.
yeah, we talking
Avenue
about
A,
the
B,
projects
C,
out there. I mean, so we talking about like the Ave, you know,
Yeah.
Bruce, Lillian Ward, and Amon set up the hill, Vladic, Smith,
Yeah,
Guardia,
yeah,
where
I
I'm
know.
from. So we talk about that. So we're not talking about quote unquote like East Village or like you know,
Yeah.
people come to Soho like, oh, I'm in the Lower East Side. Like you're not. It's Soho. And when you look on the map, it's Soho and NoHo. So
Yeah.
Soho and no.
Even people think 14th Street and Avenue C is Lower East Side. I'm like,
that
nah,
shit
nah,
is
nah.
Stuyvesant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
that's Stuyvesant all the way down.
Yeah, that shit is
You gotta be real specific with it too. Like,
Yeah.
you got to,
I mean, you're
so.
going to have your people who live, like, on the Ave, like, you need 12th, 13th Street, like, Compa, like, they going to say LES, but, I mean, the truth be told, it's a little further down than that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a street sign though that is it says Lower East Side.
Yeah, that's Avenue. So
That's
to us,
Avenue
that's
C.
Avenue C.
Yeah, so when you see it, right, and you hear Lower East Side, you be a Lower East Sider. You hear the
Yeah.
comparison?
Honestly, that's probably the only area in the LES still that still got, like, that culture, that still holds on. The Puerto Ricans are still riding their bikes with the flag
Yeah.
holding on.
Oh, he's right. Oh, absolutely
He
right.
is, that's so
Nigga, you
true.
could catch me on Avenue B or Avenue A on 13th Street, right, chilling with the niggas smoking
But then the
blunt.
rest of me, yeah, but everybody else will be like, nah, these, I'll be like, yo, these Puerto Rican niggas are different.
They wild, son. Hell yeah. Most of them niggas you see them walking down the block. Blah, blah,
You know what I'm saying? But
Old school, bro,
It's
old
good.
school.
Like I said, that's my block. So like, I'm from like 3rd Street and Lower East Side. So it's good to like go back and reminisce from when I was a kid when he used to open the pump. But that's I pass by now, yo.
Yeah, right.
Niggas-
And the food, the Spanish food is still better on that side.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah, hell yeah.
So
The
that's
Spanish,
Delos for sure.
yeah, the restaurants is always gonna be the same. Like,
He's right, because it's hard to look for a good Spanish restaurant over there around Lower East Side, though.
Yeah, it's over. Like,
Nah, you
we
know
got
what?
1 and 2 is over.
You know what the thing is? Like real culture is dying, bro. Like, and that's sad to say, bro, because like you said, when you said that where the real Puerto Ricans, they just in that neighborhood and all that. You think who's gonna come up after them?
They buying people out. So you
That's
like,
what I'm saying, right?
so you some property owner, right? I'm not gonna say it. I ain't trying to get canceled. I ain't gonna say who it is, who's buying these buildings, right? But when you offer somebody $25,000, $30,000, when you get somebody's grandmother 25, 30,
Se fueron.
yeah, it's over.
That's it. It's over.
Oh, yo voy para Puerto Rico para comprar una casa para allá.
So now it's a fact. So now what it becomes like chains of like restaurants and food.
But
It's
not
not
even
authentic,
though,
bro, like-
but not even though, because if you actually drive around the Lower East Side, it's mainly restaurants, but no clothing or
Yeah,
retail stores.
Yeah,
You just got the restaurant, but it's different restaurants. Like,
but different restaurants. What I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is it's not like pure culture, bro.
nah,
Like
we didn't
you-
grow up on vegan treats. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Vegan
Like-
treats.
Yeah, got vegan
what
empanada
I'm
places.
saying.
anybody that's in the gelato shop is not for the low.
Yo,
Nah, it's more like a tourist attraction now.
Yeah, I thought
basically,
I thought gelato was somebody who owned a pizza shop.
facts. That nigga must make a good fucking pie, nigga.
Once we lost our Gucci Frito, we lost our
It's
Elias.
over.
No.
you
Yo,
see?
let's
That's
go
what I'm
there.
talking
Once
about.
we lost the Gucci Frito, we
It's
lost our-
over.
And that was the one on 10th Street.
No, I'm talking about the one on Clinton. Now that shit on
Oh,
the corner
okay.
is Zaza City. Now I'm fucking
Yeah,
smoking.
yeah, that's what.
Fucking
Yeah.
Zaza City. There's a smoke shop on every corner, 3 on every block.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm telling you, bro. Like we losing that, bro. Like nobody else gonna come behind that. You ain't gonna have grandma's touch and all that shit
Hell
on those food and all that,
We
bro.
don't even got pizza shops. I'm telling you, they cut out the piece and left the za. It's over.
Yo,
It's over.
That's a big fact.
Oh
God. Niggas took the dollar pizza to put Zaza. Nah.
Yo,
That's
that's
crazy,
over. You
bro.
can't get the dollar slice with the 50-cent soda to the deal.
Nah,
like,
bro.
damn, that's
nah,
Not
pizza shops have been
anymore.
there for mad long. That's crazy,
Not
bro.
anymore.
So all right, so
But yeah, that's the Lower East Side.
nah, so you grew up with before you know, oh no, so you used to visit your pops and all, so y'all grew up separately and with your family and all that. So you grew up with your moms pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
How was it? You
So-
said you had you and how many sisters?
5, right?
So there's
Five
so yeah,
sisters.
so we got there's 5 of us. So to break it, so I literally lived 2 separate lives. So when I
Oh,
was when
okay,
I stood
talk
on
about
the
it.
Ave, like when I stood on the Ave, like I said, I would go visit my pops, whether he was in state or whatever, and that was my grandmother from my pop's side. And that was when I stood. So every weekend I was there until he passed when I was like 8. So that's why I tell my family all the time. On my mom's side, when you see all the family pictures and shit, I'm in none of those if I was 8 or younger because I was still visiting my pops.
Got you.
But then on the other side, but it was me and it was my 2 cousins who I called them, one passed away, but I called those are my sisters. We have the same last name. My pop raised them. And then on my other side, my mom raised us 5, and then we downstairs we had another 8, and we
wow.
first cousins on both sides. Our pops are brothers, our mothers are sisters. So those are my brothers and sisters too. So
Oh, definitely, for sure.
I come and then we on my projects is 4 buildings on that block. There was 41 of us in those 4 buildings. So So that I mean
Wow.
that so.
Damn.
And I'm the bigger one, but I'm like the lady. I'm like the baby brother of like 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
So y'all ran that hood.
So I never had to fight.
That's a fact. I
Yeah,
mean,
right,
40
your
y'all.
whole family
Who the
is
fuck
there.
is picking on
Ain't
y'all?
nobody gonna want to knock on
Exactly.
your door. Like, do, man, run hell no. 40
My
people
cousins
pop
was, I
out.
tell you all the time, they was special ed. They had the small windows.
They had the one with the
Yeah.
cage covered windows. And everything.
Them niggas
They're
had
like
2 lunch
fucking
periods and
prisoners.
stood in the same class all day. You did not want to fuck with them. Yo,
Oh,
but honestly,
shit.
like I said, growing up, I'm the youngest of 5.
Okay.
And honestly, that's where the comedy, that's where the sense of music. That we could talk about a lot of shit that I've done, but that's where everything come from. My mom is funny. You gotta be when you the fat like little brother, like you want to like make your older brothers laugh. You want to make you mean. I always wanted to be under my brothers. You know what I mean? So you gotta
Wanna
be
impress-
funny.
you wanna
gotta,
impress
like,
them and
yeah,
stuff?
and yeah, you can't. And they gonna talk shit to you like. So I was always like, you always gonna be annoying when you're the little brother.
Always,
but
yeah.
I was quick with the like.
With the jokes.
With the
kinda funny.
rebuttals?
Yeah, he's funny, so we gotta keep him around. And then I'm a sports fanatic, so it was easy for me to like. Oh, so they watching some shit. It's easy for me to watch it. You mean so?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I wouldn't trade being the youngest of 5 or being like we're all still tight. I don't understand I don't speak to my brother right now. We never had that shit.
Yeah,
We would be mad at
that's
each other
fine.
for an hour and a half, and it's like, who gives a fuck? Like you gotta get over that.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's dope. But I mean, imagine. You know what's funny though? Like, what's the whole like you say funny? Like, it's always the funny person, and it's always growing up around a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right. It's never the quiet or the one person that grew up with like one person, or it's always the person that grew up with a whole bunch of people, bro.
It's
Like,
survival of the fittest. Like
Yeah.
you gotta be ready for war at all times when it comes to jokes or do whatever. Like, cause somebody always mad. We could. You mean even when like Nintendo 64 came out, there's 10 cousins trying to play with 4 controllers. So now we tight, we lose, we talking shit. You got to be able to go back and forth. And when you go outside, you got to be able to. When you're on the block, you got to be able to handle that.
That's a
And
fact.
honestly, being the fat kid, I tell niggas all the time, like when they be like, "Yo, you smell good," that's because I was a stink fat nigga when I was younger. So, I had to
There
make
you
sure-
go.
I had
Hey.
to make sure I was funny.
Round of applause for that, man. That's called elevation right there, man.
Right, and that's called good hygiene.
That's all.
And let's go. Go.
You better pay attention. Man.
Take notes. Take notes.
Take-
I
No.
tell the time. I tell the bitch all the time. Remember now? It's too late.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's funny
Yeah.
you say it's funny you say that though too, because you had that video on Instagram. You was like, of course I'm a fat nigga. Of course I gotta put deodorant under every.
Everything.
Every crease.
Undershirt look like a fucking Cincinnati Bengal. Yo, you sweat everywhere, bro.
Yo, dude.
Yo, I'm telling you,
Oh my
I be
God.
telling you, I tell all the little fat kids, whoever, like, yo, you sweat more. That's what it is. You gotta learn that.
That's
Like,
true.
honestly, we learn that when it's like, but honestly, like growing up, the fat one is usually the funny one or the popular one. You know what I mean? So nobody ever like, you know what I mean? I still got like a little attention from girls. So it's like,
Yeah.
I guess
yeah.
either y'all nasty or nobody just told me.
Well, you know what? The funny attracted them to you, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. It was appealing to them. Like, all right, this is cool. He's cool. It makes it a whole different perspective on somebody.
Yeah, because like I said, when you walk in a room and you like you that light or you like
Yeah.
you said, I was ready to snap on anybody because I always
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
although I was 8, 9, 10, 11, my brothers are older or I said I got 1,000 cousins. You always had to be funny. You wanted to stay in that room.
You had to prove
You wanted to
yourself.
hear the adult time or the adult jokes. You wanted to stay in the smoke room because they had a smoke room. My grandma's crib.
Hey,
You wanted to stay in the smoke room, man. You better bring something. You don't smoke. You ain't doing shit.
so you found your niche to be in that room, pretty much.
I was always the funniest one.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
the-
yeah.
But I said I got that from. You mean fucking drunk? Whether my uncles or whatever, my grandmother's house. To me, like, you know, hearing those stories and it's crazy because like I don't speak that much Spanish now. I understand everything, but my grandmother's house. My first language is Spanish. So hearing like those and when Spanish people and they tell that same story 20 fucking Fridays
That's
in
a
a row.
fact. That's a
20
fact,
Fridays in a
bro.
row.
But 20
Nah, he
Fridays
ain't
in a
lying.
row, that shit was funny.
He ain't lying, bro.
Right,
Like,
so-
You just tell it a different
Yeah.
way every single Friday though. But
Nah,
it's
it's about to be
funny,
the same
and it's
way
funny
though.
all the
It'll be the
time.
same way. You be like, oh, here we go
Here
again.
we
But,
go.
but it'll be
So-
funny. Yo, you ain't lying about that though.
I mean, so honestly, like that's, and I think that's why, like, it's hard to be funny when you're like a single child, grew up in a like. You mean you're more prone to be like sick in the head when you like by yourself, as opposed to like because you don't have no time to like be sad or depressed and all that.
But
Somebody's
yeah.
gonna be there talking shit to you,
Yeah.
so you gotta just be
And,
ready.
and not everybody's gonna be mad. Like not everybody is gonna be mad around you. Somebody's gonna be excited, happy, and all that. So you're gonna
And that
gravitate
was
to
me.
like that. Like, yeah,
I
you
can't-
go.
You know how hard you can't get depressed when there's food around. You know how hard it is. I'm like, yo, I probably ever like I'm like, I try to think about it. Yo, was I ever really depressed? Probably, but like, depression tastes good. I don't fucking just eat.
Yeah.
It's the seasoning,
Fucking
right?
eat, son.
It's the seasoning, bro. It's the seasoning.
So growing up in school, right? Going to school. I know you said like you didn't get picked on. Obviously, 40 people. I don't think nobody wanted to fuck with y'all, right? So how was it in school? Like, what inspired you to be? I know you was trying to be funny, trying to be in the room, but what inspired you to be like a comedian too? Or not even a comedian, just to be funny? Because I'm pretty sure you probably had to watch something or somebody, or it just came on your own.
Honestly, so not only was I like the funny one, but also so I did my first commercial when I was 6.
Yeah.
And what was that
And
like?
then, and I said I always played ball and all that, but like, so I did my first commercial when I was 6. Like, they shot on my block. It was a Pringles commercial, and I came behind some kid and did the fucking pop shit.
Nah.
It's still out? Is it still out?
We gotta look for that
It's
shit.
still out?
I'll be looking for. I had Pringles for a couple years in my crib, but I'll be like, I'm always looking for like. So when I like did that, so everybody always knew that like I was gonna be something to do something. Because, and then also as fat as I am, like I'm a dancer first. So as funny as I am,
Really? Okay.
Like dancing, I'm old now, but like I'm still a monster. Like
So nice.
Yeah.
What you pop lock?
nah. So I grew up a salsa dancer first.
Oh, okay, I'm about for. I put you in a boat where I could pop lock.
Yeah,
We
nah,
talking
nah,
about
we not.
Spanish and good shit.
It don't matter when you know how to dance is whatever. Like
Right.
So whenever whether it was like funny or like playing, so I'm always like I feel like as the big dude or whatever, you always gotta like try harder than everybody else. So
Yeah.
I'm always out to like prove myself. So after like the commercial, like in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm the shit, right? And like you get like a couple dollars for that shit, or you get like credits. And then I started playing ball at 6, 7, and I'm like, oh shit, naturally I'm good at ball. I mean, I played 5 sports like growing up, like high school. I went to college for a little bit. Like I played volleyball, I played tennis, basketball, football. Yeah, I played
like a Renaissance man,
like,
bro.
so like I've always been like the greatest athlete. Like sports to me, like, so sports to me, like I was always like popular because I was good in sports, and then everything else is kind of so whether I'm in a dugout or whether I'm on the sideline, I'm talking shit.
Yeah,
and I'm just like because somebody's gonna call you fat. You're gonna be the kid with the big titties, whatever. So I had to like just be fast all the time. You know what I mean? So but in school was like always like I said, I was always the funny one, or it means I played ball. I was always popular, so it was easy for me to honestly like when I see that like when I noticed that like kids would try to like snap back, whatever. It was kind of like then I was whack. Like and it's honestly because they didn't have like I'm going up against grown adults back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm going up. My mom talk shit to me. Like I'm telling jokes with my mom. Like my mom to the day will talk shit to me. Like so I grew up in a house like that where like either you gonna laugh. I grew up with shit honestly. So either gonna laugh or you gonna cry. You gonna figure it out. And we had like laughter. We had we had love. Like that's how I grew up on. So in school it was always like I was always popular because whether I played we could go to basketball. I'm probably gonna bust your ass.
Okay, yeah.
I'm bigger than everybody else, so we play dodgeball.
right.
I'm gonna kill you. Football, I'm like, so whatever we did, and then we had like I said, we had a tennis program. I had like opening match, like when the like U.S. Open, I was like 11.
Really?
So like I was always just like how the fuck this fat nigga like is good at everything, and it was honestly because it's like I gotta try harder than everybody else, and it was just naturally just came to me. So I was always popular, so I never had like issues at school, and then girls fuck with me. I have another side of my life where like I was introduced to sex at a very young age, so I was like dealing with like family friends or my teachers. Like I've been fucking with my teachers like 4th grade. Like
yo,
This nigga
That
has
shit just went.
yeah, that shit goes deep.
Where we going?
He said, "Yo, I've been with females since the second grade, man." What you talking about?
My teachers used to give me half their lunch or extra trays. Like, mind your business, nigga. Like,
Whoa. Yo, this nigga, how though, son? And we like basically
bro.
the same age, bro. I've been wanting that shit since I was a kid too.
Right, you
Nigga,
see that shit, but that's the type of shit you see in movies. You're like, damn.
Yes, I never had a teachers come over here and be like, "Hey, Josh," they be like, "Yo, where your homework?" Damn, teach. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
none of that. Here's extra lunch, Poppy.
I just play the victim, like, oh, this little sad fat kid, and then
You'll get them every
girl,
time.
you don't even know. I'm about to put you on one of these tapes.
Quick.
Yeah, so growing up in school, all that shit, I was always popular. So
That's
What's
cool.
up? But you when you were playing ball, like you mixed the ball and the comedy. You say you was talking shit on the sideline.
yeah,
Like,
so like I said, it's just honestly growing up in the hood, like you gotta be like you never like,
witty
you
with
know
it.
what it is. Like I never wanted to like lose a fight. It's for not even like a physical fight, but I never like whether it's arguing, whether it's
okay.
snapping. I never wanted to lose. And the first you get that first when somebody says some shit where everybody laughing, you can't even. It don't matter what you say, you feel that you're like that shit never gonna happen to me again.
Yeah. Everybody look at you. The tension's on you.
So then I started like instead of like because you can either be like the bully or like get bullied, right? So after a while, it was kind of just like I'm always a nice, loving kid. I'm like I'm funny to these niggas, so I'll go outside and start talking shit.
Word.
I'll go down the line
You ain't never
and
had
come
somebody,
back.
you ain't never had somebody get mad, bro, and just want to fight you.
All the time. And then you gotta think about it. I wasn't small.
You
I
was
actually
there,
know
yeah.
how to fight.
Yeah.
And then there was times when my grandmother came out with a pistol in her bata. Like, you not.
Yo,
Wait.
Listen, it's
pistol in
40
her
this, you
bata.
like,
Wig. But that's the shit too, right? That, like you say, yeah, there's 40. Even think about it, like, well, I want to hit this nigga. We got like no family out here,
I'm
bro.
a
Like,
snitch. I would have been put, yo.
come
I'm
on.
not fighting for myself.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. If I have 40 heads with me too, bro, I know, no, I'm not either,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
you had like a secret call or some shit like.
Nah, so it was crazy. My grandmother's crib, like, which is all our cribs, honestly. Like, everybody was in that house. I
that's
lived on the
how-
last
that's
floor.
how Abuelita.
We lived on the first floor in the project. So, nigga, that shit like 5-6 bedrooms. That's half the building.
Yeah, that's easy.
And
First
one of us
floor,
is always outside, but you
yeah.
knew. Like, nah, don't. Like, if a new kid came to the block, like, yo, like, he heard your fitness, you tight. He took his skelly top, leave him. Because they'll take that shit personal. But honestly, like, but it was never that. Like, they get mad, they want to, like, cry, fight, and it's like, yo, and then what? But a lot of times, we used to like to bring out the gloves and like, so where I come, like my block, like we all like still close. You mean like I still show love, I hit them up. You know what I mean? Like we used to bring out the gloves and do all kind of shit. But these are kids that we rode bike with, nigga, like stole fruit from fruit stands with, like. So you could get mad and do whatever, but in that era, you could smack somebody. Because I definitely, like, one of my right-hand men, nigga, smacked shit on me one time. I said something foul about, like, his father, his mom's. And I had to tell him, like, damn, I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I took it, man. We talk about it now. Like, I had to take that. You get one.
What you right about that though? Like back then, that era, it was like you was physically like with the person like every time, so you built
Yo, you
that
could- you
bond
could-
and all that shit, man.
You could
Like,
fight somebody from your block at 3 o'clock. By 6 o'clock, y'all niggas just sharing Chinese food.
Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I did have a fight with some kid in my block, like,
Yes.
and niggas was hanging out together anyways, like so it just be like that, bro. Like it's definitely right, but that bond you build, like a brotherhood that you build
Yeah,
with
like,
that.
that's
So
what I'm saying, like,
it's not some
that-
random person now that you could be that you could fight somebody, be like, yo, you gonna have something with that person. Back then,
it was like we were kids, man. Like it said, like remember there was fights every day. Whether
Facts.
somebody got fouled too hard or whether you lost. Because if you lost, that was it. Like remember, and they said you're on the block with 30, 40. Then you lose, you're not getting back on the court for
Yo,
2-3
dead
hours.
ass.
nah, that's
So
a
now you
fact.
tight, right? So now you fouling, kicking it. So like there was a fight. Somebody got smacked every day, but then it was just like you come outside the next day and do the same thing. So
Facts.
Yeah.
So what school did you go to?
So I went to like I said, my elementary was PS 137, but now it's like Shang Wang. I tell you, I'm from Chinatown. That shit is
There's a school named Chang Wang.
Shang Wang, yeah. Nah,
Shang
it's
Wang.
Crazy.
I heard niggas give like dumplings for lunch. I don't know.
Nah.
Now,
that-
like, they get dumplings now.
Yeah, that's like
And then I went to middle school, like a middle school, high school. Went to East Side, which is on 12th and A. And at that time, I thought I was getting a deal. So some dudes was like, "Yo, like you gonna like." I was like dancing in fucking bootleg music videos, and they're like, "Yo,
a
like,
deal for what though? Sorry, deal for what?
So
like,
I got a deal so be a development deal. So
Okay.
it was supposed to be a development, and that was on Maury that year. So you know, like so I'm like I had like a
you was
man.
active, boy. You
Nah,
was,
like
you
I've
was
always
out.
been
You was
son.
out.
So,
was
so I
outside,
had
bro.
some
Like-
dude who was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a manager." So he got me on Maury, so I believed it. But I was like on Maury to be like one of them bad kids because like I said at 12, 13, at
Get
12,
the fuck out of here,
yeah, so at
son.
12, 13, I was 5'8", 5'9" already. So I had a chip tooth, a little afro, so I looked bad. So I had to like pretend to be bad, but
So wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. So
Uh,
that's what they was doing on the Maury show. They was pretending like
yeah, so you get like a little check on it, and it's crazy because my mom like I didn't even know like my mom like
that's
saw it
crazy.
after like it like came out whatever, and I'm like, I know they got paid, you get paid for shit like that. So whoever was my fake manager at the time, he just took that and then he brought me to the special delivery video. So we were doing dances whatever. So then it's like, and then they found out I could rap, but I used to rap about food. So they're like, "Oh, you can rap about food, you can rap for real." And I'm like, I've been rapping since I was like 5'6". I was always like writing English and Spanish raps for like girls and shit.
Okay, all right,
So
shit.
I probably went to that school for like 3 months because then I thought I was like gonna have this deal. So I would like I wake up every morning. I was going to school, but then I would meet this dude, and I was legit like I was at some video shoot or I was in the studio and they get smoking crazy. And at the time I told them I was 15, 16, but I was 12. So I went to that school for like 3 months. Then my sister had passed, and when I tell you like it was my cousin, my sister. So after that, I'm like, yo, fuck that. Like I don't want to do nothing. Like this nigga been sending me dreams. I'm cutting school literally every day.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to school once in a while because I'm a nerd. So I'll go to school once in a while, and I wouldn't know shit. And I'm like, I don't know shit. I still smell kind of funny. Like so I would only go to school when I had like this shit called musical theater when we could like do improv.
Oh,
So then I was like popular off that, and then once they kicked me off the ball team for like not being able to like having my grades. And I was like, fuck that, I'm out. And then that's when I played ball with Dylan Batanzas, the pitcher from the Yankees, whatever. So
okay.
So I would go like just to go see like Dylan because like that was like my best friend in like that grade. But then after that, I'm like, so fuck that. Like that deal, I don't even know what that dude is at. I just told my mom the truth. Like, I haven't been in school in 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So I was like a 7th grade dropout. She's like, just stay home the rest of the year. Next year, you going to the school on the block. Go to the school on the block. The first 2 days, they put me on, like I said, I was a nerd the first 5-6 years of my life. So they put me with the special kids, right? All the Chinese kids, and like they learning shit. They preparing for high school, and I'm like, I haven't been to real school in like a year. I don't know what the fuck.
That's crazy.
So then I wake up and I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna go to school and tell the principal the truth. I haven't been in school in a year. They were supposed to put me in 7th grade. They fucked up and kept me in my same grade. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till 9 o'clock. At 8:43 comes, fucking an airplane hits a tower. Our world changes, right? And then I'm like, you know what? Like,
It's
God,
over.
if you don't want me to go to 7th grade,
Let me
you could have said that.
That's crazy.
Damn. All right.
crazy.
So
And then after that was just like I kind of like honestly got my like that shit like that year like fucked me up like whether from my sister passing, me thinking I was gonna like make it, like I said I did the Maury, I was like in fucking special delivery, and now I was like in an extended clip. So when I go on YouTube and try to find this shit, I'm like hard to shake my life away. I don't see myself. Then
you know how to shake?
yeah, I know did all that shit.
You know all that?
All that shit, fucking wearing big ass jerseys and stupid shit we did.
Remember the 4X, 5X
Yeah.
shirts,
Bro,
bro?
at least
But you know what's
5
crazy?
teams.
And that's what I'm saying. If you come
crazy.
to my shows, you would know. I said that's the only time in my life where I could like share clothes with my friends.
Yeah,
I
word.
needed the 3XT regardless.
I need like
I needed
4.
a fucking
I
three.
need at least
Yeah, I needed a
4
three.
on, too.
And I used to wear like 2-3 tees at a time. So I used to wear in my head of wearing 3-4. The more tees you wore, the more I hid my tits. So I was like,
That-
but yeah.
I
So
said that era was fire.
yeah, so after that, honestly, so like middle school and all that. So then after that, I kind of like got myself back, and I'm like, I'm gonna focus on school. I started playing ball again. Then I went to, I took the specialized exam, and I passed. Like, so I was able to go to Stuyvesant, do whatever. So I picked Brooklyn Tech. So I'm like, I'm a nerd again. I'm playing ball again. I should last 2 weeks. Football practice at 6 in the morning.
It was over.
I'm like, first of all, and I'm faster. I'm an offensive lineman. I said, nah. On the block, I got hands. Like, they don't want to hit this. Like, these coaches don't want to hit that shit. I'm like, I can't block nobody. I'm a bitch. Like, I got little legs. I just got stomach. I got little arms. So then I'm like, yo, fuck. Like, they wanted me to play football. I'm like, I came here for ball. Like, the coach told me I'm gonna be a freshman starter. That shit. I lasted there 2 weeks, and I went to school health professions because in the book it said 87% girls. And
Oh, shit. So
Yeah,
that was the
like,
reason for going on.
Nigga said the book
yeah,
said
I've
87%
always
good.
chased like girls. I ain't gonna lie.
Did that
Sports and
keep-
girls, and girls was at the game. So.
Yeah.
True.
And I said that that's the reason why I don't smoke. I never did that because I never understood like the niggas on the block in the corner. Like, so there's 80 y'all niggas standing here cutting school smoking together, and the bitches are inside. I'm going inside. Makes no sense.
I mean, yo, listen, you took a different route, which is not a bad route at
Yeah,
all.
you know how
like,
many? I'm like, yo, there's mad broken girls in there who don't want to go back home, who need a place to stay. Like,
I'm here.
yeah, come. And I know how to cook, so y'all won't be hungry.
Woo! Hey, listen,
You
know
see my
what?
belly?
My mom's my mom was either working or in the club, so
Yeah,
I
Hey.
can come to my crib.
Hey.
But that's me. And like I said, but I've always like I said. So whether it was, and then when I got to high school, I started. So I dropped 21 questions like a food song, but I rapped it about food. So 50 came out, so I'm like, oh, I can rap. So I started freestyling in class, and like, yo, people would buy this shit. And I had a little tape recorder. I sold 1,100 copies.
No.
Recording this shit over and over, 21 questions. Somebody picked it up and was like, yo, if you could rap about food again. I'm like, bro, I heard this story 3 years ago. I'm not doing this again. They're like, nah, if you could really rap. So then I started modeling for academics. Like the big and tall shit used to be in fucking Dr. J's magazines and shit. And then when I started modeling for academics, I was like started rapping again and did whatever. So then I started rapping all through high school, and then right after high school, I got with a group in Harlem.
No, wait, whoa. Hold on. You was too bad. Wait, hold on. So academics, you started modeling for academics.
That's the
How-
clothing brand, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember it.
Like, how was that though? Before you move on to that, how was that? And how did you? Because you getting into a lot of things.
Yeah,
but
what
like,
was you wearing? Like, what was you like? You was modeling like with the polos on?
Yeah,
or,
nah,
like,
so
the
we used,
jackets?
so the academics always had like the logo T-shirt that was like the AKDS
Yeah.
whatever, it had
Yeah.
the number 9 on it. So I got that because I was like, so now after I've been an ugly fat nigga for whatever, I had a chipped tooth, so I got my chipped tooth fixed. I had a little fake beard coming in, you're like Spanish nigga with the little line.
Yeah.
So in height, like I said, so when dude was like, yo, I'm gonna try to get you like deals or whatever. He's like, yo, you can really rap. And who doesn't want, like, I kind of rap fast. So he's like, who doesn't want that, like, punch style, but you look like this? And then they find out I'm a dance. And then and by high school, I probably had 50, 60 dance trophies. Like, so everybody
You
knew
in
me.
dance competitions and all that.
Like, I'm a dance. Like, that's what I do first. Like, to the day.
Okay, so
I'll be in the club right now and bitches be like, and they're like, I don't know if I want to dance with this fat nigga. And then boom.
do you dance salsa?
So I started dancing salsa. So now I can to me that shit reminds me of like Puerto Rican funerals. So
Oh shit.
so I can definitely I still dance salsa, I dance bachata, everything else.
Why
But
does it
so-
remind you of Puerto Rican funeral though?
But that's what they play. Mark Anthony reminds me of a funeral. I don't care what anybody
Oh,
says.
man, he said-
Like, every time we hear Aguaniles, somebody died. Every time. Say this nigga killed somebody else.
Yo.
Oh my
He
god!
said no matter
this
what
nigga.
event it is, it could be
Yeah,
a
this nigga
funeral,
don't
a
matter.
fucking party,
Oh, you hear that?
baby shower.
So yeah, so I started as a salsa dancer, and then and I was in competitions for that, and honestly, I would just I would look and be like, oh, like he's doing that routine. I would do the same thing, and because I was fat, it looked better. So I was doing that, and then but when I started doing my academics and shit, that's when we were getting light and doing all the Harlem shaking and shit. And we were like going crumping and all that, so we would go battle. So I was doing that.
So he was like in a street team, academic street team.
No, so
What
I
type
was
of shit?
no, so I was on the academic street team. We'll post like DJ Clue posters and shit.
Yeah.
And then like I said, it went from like one photo shoot, and like I said, I was at the time, like I said, I'm already like 5'9", 5'10", I'm 15, 16, so I had like a little young chubby face, and so I look a little older, and I was like, so I usually would model like the tees, and then they started coming out with jeans, like they were trying to do like what Parasuka used to do, have the academics on the side. So I did like 2 Dr. J's magazines. And then after that, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just start like rapping for real. Yeah. So I was rapping. That shit, like, you do all these shows, that shit gets you like nowhere. Then one day somebody introduced me to like a Harlem group. So I started fucking with the Harlem group, and then now I'm doing, and then I started like doing the battle rap shit.
Is that Triple M?
Yeah.
Like the Harlem group?
Yeah. So when I fuck with like Triple M, they started introducing me to, they like, yo, we got this young Spanish kid.
Yeah.
He's always with some, and honestly, to this day, y'all see at the show, I'm always with bitches. So they're like, yo, he always got girls with him. Like, he's always, right? So like, and honestly, that's all image. Like, everybody looks like, how you with that? Like, So he's like, yo, I got this young kid. So I started doing that, and then I started meeting like, I have tracks with like Loaded Lugs, right? So I started doing like all the battle rap shit, and I'm just like, all right. But then I'm in these rooms where I'm like, I'm still mad young. I'm not a smoke. I'm not doing whatever. So I'm in the studio where I'm like dizzy. I'm like, by the time y'all want me to rap, I can't even. Like contact is a real shit, like some real shit.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, I don't smoke. I don't do whatever. I'm like, as much as I'm from the block, I never been like a street nigga. So I was like, I was at Rucker when shit broke out, and then it's like, yo, like, so who you like really riding with? And then I'm from the LES, where honestly at the time, True Life ran LES.
Yes,
So now I'm a Harlem rapper from the LES. I was shook every day.
Word.
Every day. So now I was like, oh shit. So now I meet like Max. So if you look at all the Triple M shit, like, so I started having like tracks of Max B. So Max B's like, I'm a signed to a fat nigga. So now
Max B wanted to sign you?
So now I'm 19 to 20, right? Yeah. Because I always wanted to do the sing and rap shit. Like, but I was always cause I'm like, I always wanted to be a singer. My voice is just not good enough. I'm like, fuck rapping.
We all want to be
I'm
singers.
an R&B nigga all the way. I'm a soft loving R&B nigga.
Like,
so I always wanted to do that shit.
Wait, but like even like while you was rapping though, like did you ever get the comparison like, yo, you look like Biggie?
Nah, I never, honestly, like, because they say I look too Spanish. Like, so like, some white girl be like, oh, you look like Biggie. But black girls be like, nigga, you look too Spanish. Your eyebrows are too nice. Yeah. Your eyebrows are way too nice to be Biggie. But I got the comparison, the pun, because I'm Puerto Rican and I always rap. I wanted to show that I can rap fast, and I've always like rap fast. And then the whole Max B shit happened. So like now I'm riding like, so I'm fucking with Max B. So I'm in the studio with these niggas every day. But then it's like he started beefing with, with the Harlem nigga, and then like, or his crew, and then it's kind of just like, yo, like, and then I'm like, they be like, yo, where that nigga from? The LES, and that shit, the looks I used to get. I said, like, I never knew I was pussy till I was in the studio one day, and nigga said, where you from? I said,
Harlem.
I said, I'm Brooklyn, like.
Whatever you want me to be, nigga.
Nigga, I'm from Battery Park City, nigga. Let me go home.
Let me get out of
here.
here.
Go home,
like,
and I'm never coming back.
Nah, I feel you though, cause you going in there with like good intentions, like yo, like I just want to rap. You feel me? It's not like I want to get caught up in like the type of shit like y'all getting into.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. Like it was always like I just want to rap, and then you know what? Because I'm funny and because I could talk or whatever, I'm like I could definitely battle rap. So I started doing battle raps and shit. But then it's like there's always fights at the end of a battle rap.
That's a fact.
Now it's more professional. But back then in the fucking DVD stores and all that, I say, yo, you gotta. And then it never happened at LES. I'm always by myself, and I'm always like, and I'm like, yo, I never came. So when I started to see, niggas are strapped up and all that, I'm like, yo, this shit not for me. So I'm like, I'll fuck this rap shit. And I always had like this. So I always like held on to the rap. But I'm like, yo, like my true love is either trying to be a fucking R&B singer, which I don't got the voice to. I can sing that much. Every fat nigga can hit 3 notes.
But can you write though? Can you write?
Yeah.
Should have
So-
been a ghostwriter right there. Like,
So
have somebody
so
sing
what
that
I'm doing
shit.
like so what I'm
Yeah.
doing like
Yeah,
the Max B shit, right? So I meet Opera Steve, who's on a song with like who's like Big Punk's cousin. He's on a song with like Cameron and all that. So then I end up writing for like Nina Sky. So now I'm meeting these people.
You
but
wrote for Nina Sky?
Yeah, but now you
Good
so
shit.
now you gas.
Bro, hold on. You can't go over shit like that,
Yeah,
bro.
so-
Like, hold on, bro. Yo, drop a ball for that, bro.
Yeah, so-
Like, hold on,
Yeah.
bro. Like, you gotta give
Renaissance,
accolades
man.
out here, bro. Like, you writing for Nina Sky and all that shit. Like, you getting into this
through,
shit. Like,
through my
congrats on
man,
that,
like,
bro.
yeah. So through my man Opera Steve, I met their brother, and then he's like, yeah, like, oh, I got these sisters, whatever. And like by the time Nina Sky was ready, Nina Sky, like, nigga, you gotta introduce yourself when you say that.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh yeah, write this, and I could get my sister to hook that. So honestly, when I first wrote for them, I didn't even know. I just wrote for this nigga's sisters because that's what he told me to do. But then he's like, yo, like, oh, nah. So I used to like pitch hooks, and then I would start like recording. I try to like sell whatever. And then my last like stint in music was when I was on Making a Band. And then
Nah, come on, bro.
so when I did the Making a Band shit, like,
What?
So when I did the Making a Band shit, I'm like, all right, I could write. I can't really sing like these niggas
Yeah,
sing, but
yeah.
if I could write and dance, I'm good. Nigga, their group name is Day 26. By day 3, I was out of there. we got to the dance round. They're like, oh yeah, and then people were record because I was.
Oh, sounds like
dancing
the
with-
audition. You was with for the audition for Day
No,
26.
so I made the audition, and then it was like, so before you get to the house, like, so it was like audition, and before you like, so the auditions keep coming up like every week. So you get like closer and closer to the house. So now you start to build relationships with these people, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, so I end up like, those are my people. Like, I mean, I wrote for them, shit like that. But at that point already, I'm like, I'm kind of over it. Then my son was born, and then I was on the Tyra show, and it's crazy because all this shit that I did, the Tyra Banks episode is probably I got paid for that episode probably for 10 years.
Oh, get out of here.
And that's
Like,
the
like,
one
res-
shit
like
you can find.
residuals and shit. Like,
Yeah. So
Really?
the Tyra Banks shit, like if y'all want to, you could go look at it. It's called Circus of Weight. You want to go look it up. At that same time, I was like, so I
circus.
had,
What is it? Circus of what?
it's called Circus of Weight. So
Circus of weight.
yeah, so the shit. So Tyra used to do all these fucking social experiments, right? So the experiment was that like how people view people in this like circus of life. So it was like the circus. You have like elephants. You have ringmasters. You got whatever the fuck.
Right.
So she gave it. So she like going how we. So they put us in an experiment, and we like, yo, like the average guy could be the ringleader because everybody's average, everybody whatever. So then it ended up being the elephant was at the bottom. It was like clown and then elephant. So I'm like, I just want to be a clown.
Yeah.
But then now I'm like, so this is like literally at the end of like the whole like Triple M like Dipset era for me. So I'm there. I'm like, yo, I'm about to just make myself kind of look stupid to get the sympathy
Yeah.
because I'm trying to literally
Get it.
transition
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a complete different career. So in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna just be a comedian. Like I wish I had like Instagram and like Vine and all that shit at that time because it's now this is 2009, 10.
Got it.
So I'm like, I take the shift. So I'm like, I'm gonna do some shit. So I end up being the clown on Tyra, and then the bigger girl, the BBW or whatever she was, or plus size woman was the other thing. They're like, yo, that's mad degrading to women. So I'm like, hold up. So I look around the room. I've always been like somebody like, I'm always thinking business wise. Even now as a comedian, I'm always like, my goal is to like run my own spot, run my own production
money,
company.
yeah.
Like I'm 30. I just turned 36 a couple weeks ago. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, I love to be on the light,
belated
but
birthday.
like, I'm using my jokes again to like, or I'm using the resume y'all hearing right now.
Yeah.
So like, there's people who owe me favors, and I'm gonna like get those.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking way ahead. So at that time, I'm looking around the room. I'm like, wait, this bitch from Chicago. This one. So I'm like, y'all paid for them to come here, right? So I'm y'all paid for the flight. Y'all paid for hotel. I had to win a pageant to get on fucking Tyra. So I won some fat boy pageant. I'm over here fucking dancing and doing all kind of shit to get on this show. So I get on the show, and then so we do the shit. So I'm like, you know what? Y'all can make me the elephant, and I'm like, I'm gonna write what y'all gonna say about me. So I'm gonna write all this harsh shit because in my head I'm like, if I get this, so now this time this is when like Facebook is popping.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I could get the love from like, if I could get all these fans or this love from like, the sympathy from being like this. So I started. So I'm like, yo, y'all can say this about me or say this. So then I went on Tyra and started telling stories about how, you know, like nobody ever wanted to be my friend. You know what I mean? How I'm Puerto Rican and we used to do quinceañeras and nobody ever wanted to be my partner. And I knew that like people who knew me was a lie because I'm probably, when it comes to even now, at like as old as I am, when it comes to like Spanish shit, if we're in a club, I'm probably the best one on the dance floor still.
Yeah.
Right? And it's honestly I'm doing the same shit everybody was doing because I'm some big nigga. You don't think my feet gonna be that light.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, so I'm like telling all these stories. I told all these stories on like Tyra, and it was like a gift and a curse because I got all that love, all that like, oh, like fuck those
yeah.
people, like
Yeah.
you're great, you represent us, and then I got those people like, yo, like how you let them degrade you, like, and I fucking knocked like people on like MySpace and Facebook into like some depression because they're like, yo, like you supposed to represent us, how you let people talk, but in my head I was just thinking like, yo, I literally like I'm telling you, my life is a movie. I got a text the show aired, like, so we did the social experiment on a Tuesday. That Thursday, we shot the official show. That shit starts, it's live. It airs at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
At 9:54, I got a text from my baby mom, like, yo, I'm at the doctor right now, and it's official. So now, I'm crying the last 5 minutes. Because I'm like, I'm going to have a kid. I never had a job before. Like, I've been doing all this shit. I never had a real job. I never had nothing. So now I'm about to have a kid with a girl. Honestly, at the time, I didn't know her. Like, we would chill. Like, she went to the school I went to for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
So, and she didn't believe I went there. I'm like, yo, I know you from that school. She's like, nah. So we chilled 1 or 2 nights. Literally, I tell people all the time, yo, I met her in September. My son was born in July. Like, it was that fast.
Yo, they all right.
So I get that text before I'm on Tyra, and I'm like, what the fuck I'm going to do? So now I'm like, at least I'm getting this money because the more views you get, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
the more
become
money that's
like,
coming in.
it was Tyra last season, so I become like the most popular guest. So she brings me back for another episode for like the most popular guest and like to give updates, right? And at that time, like, so, and this was like a year later. So I tell people that it was like pregnancy weight, but truth is, like, I started to get to like know this shit. I'm like, all right, I'm trying to be there for my kid. So I started, obviously you eat and you just chilling, and then when I first had him, I kind of like dropped weight, and then so on the like, then they go, we coming back. When you that big, I was 420. When you that big, you just drink water, you drop pounds in it. So I came back looking like slimmer, and then they made my shirt, they tie your shirt, like TV, some fucked up shit. They tie my shirt in the back to make me
so
look
you can
like,
make it look bigger?
To make me look smaller. But the first episode, they put me in I'm telling you, go on YouTube, Circus the Weight. I was in a silk fucking
I gotta see.
lavender button up. She was a 5X.
Circle the what?
Yeah.
It's called Circus, like a fucking
the Weight.
circus. Circus of Weight.
Circus the Weight.
YouTube it right now, Tyra. I got some decent views on that. But so when I did that shit, I knew my rap career was over, which is what I wanted, and then that's when I started doing comedy. But then at the time, unfortunately, through family situations, I was a single dad. I mean, so trying to do shows and do whatever, it was kind of tough.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, yo, I need a regular job, because there was a time where I'm like, yo, like, how the fuck do you like support a kid or buy food or whatever? And honestly, I had to like, I was in the process of trying to like learn, like love my son and like build that bond. And then I had to get like a regular job, and that's when I ended up working for DOE out of nowhere. And like I said, now I'm a dean, and I've been 13 years. And you know what I mean, so I work. So I try to I teach like my kids, and I cut hair as well. So when y'all see these faces in my beard, it's me.
As you doing it by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay, shit.
so I got like a barber chair in my office, but I teach these kids. I'm like, yo, like don't ever stop like dreaming of doing whatever. But honestly, now that I'm doing like comedy, and like I did comedy when my son was born, and I was on fire. And then you go to these like white clubs, and at the time, like now, like although people think that like, oh, like this cancel culture is real, it was worse back then, because now like if you can make,
I think it died now.
If you can make a gay joke, or whatever, relatable, it's cool. But back then you couldn't say. So I had like literally, I had to do Boston Comedy Festival, and at this time I'm getting paid gigs after a month or two, which at that time was unheard of. So I do the Boston Comedy Festival, do a gay joke. Nobody laughed. They canceled the next 2 shows. Like, no, we don't want you.
Yeah.
So that shit, like, I'm like, yo, I'm not funny.
Real quick, like, so even before I want to ask you a question before that 2-part, like, did that kill your morale? Not your morale, but that kill your spirit, like, to continue to do comedy?
I stopped doing comedy.
Did you really? For how long?
I came back years. Like, so I came back. It's funny because I was at that show. So I stopped doing comedy. I'm like, I'm not funny.
So your first show was concert?
No, so my first show wasn't concert. So what happened was, so I stopped doing comedy, right? So I stopped doing, I'm like, fuck, I'm not funny. And I always growing, I always did shit. I try to come back, like, rapping one more time. I'm like, I don't want to do this shit. And now, like, rap was changing or whatever. Like, I'm a rapper. Like, no, I'm not trying to be no fucking drill rapper at 29, 30.
Right?
Facts.
So then, in 2017, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come, now Instagram is, like, really popping. So I'm like, yo, instead of doing, like, I'm like, I can get back on stage. I mean, and to me, the opinions are out there, but to me, on stage, I got those Instagram numbers right now, on stage, I'm very tough. Like, it's hard to fuck with me. So I'm like, I could get back on stage and I'll be good. So I did. So I haven't done comedy in 7 years. I reached out to Tommy 5K. He's like, oh yeah, I got a little opening spot come through with it was some Spina Heights across from Presbyterian. It was a straight Tommy crowd, straight Spanish crowd. I got I did one joke, bachata joke at the end. I freestyled it. I got a laugh. And I'm like, I never bombed that hard in my life. Not even the Boston show was that bad.
And that was your reintroduction back
I said, I'm leaving comedy again. I said, fuck comedy again. And then last year, my man opened up, we have a downtown coffee shop, and they opened a juice shop. The juice shop not open right now, but they opened a juice shop, and I'm like, I walk in, and I'm like, yo, we could turn this to event space on the other side. So we turned it to event space. I did 3 comedy shows back to back. The first was like 40 people, then 70 people. Then at the last time was like 130, 40 people. So I'm like, oh.
Nice.
All right, I'm like, all right. So I'm
ready. Sounds brewing up here.
But mentally, I'm in a different place. I'm a lot older, so I'm like, now I'm more prepared. I got money a little bit, so like, you have to invest. Whatever you do, if you're not putting money into it, you're wasting your time.
Talk that shit. Yeah.
Right? If you're not spending money on whatever your craft, like if you're not really investing in you, nobody's gonna do it. So if you're not investing in you, nobody's gonna do it.
And you know it's funny you say that because I say that I'm like, yo, it's like, and we just had this conversation the other days, bro. Like, and I'm like, yo, people think like that it's cool. You can start doing something on that shit. It's free to start for sure, but you do gotta invest in yourself. Like, you do have to invest in yourself. It's just what it is. It's just inevitable.
Honestly, it don't matter what you do. Even if you're an athlete, you gotta invest in. Even you buying the best sneakers for you, like you have to invest in yourself. So we started doing. So I did like those 3 shows, and it got crazy. But then you know what I mean. And then there's always 2 sides. Like people see like the Instagram side. We still dealing with like regular like real life shit. So I'm still dealing with. So I'm like. Relationship shit, a lot of shit was just in my favor, so I kind of fell back. And then the juice shop closed. That shit like killed me. I'm like, yo, like,
wait, was your man's juice shop though? Like,
yeah.
Okay, got you.
So like that killed me. The coffee shop and shit still open, but we still trying to like figure all that out. But at first it went from like trying to help out and just bring business in until like, yo, like I didn't realize how much I needed this shit because that shit revived my comedy career. So when that happened and I'm starting dealing with like all regular shit, the past year, this was the beginning of 2023, kind of dies out again. And then I moved from the LES because if you watch social media, so right, I moved from the LES. So now I'm a single man in Queens, right? So I'm like trying to figure it out. I'm like, I got to get back to like, I don't need therapy. I don't need to heal. I need to go be funny. Yeah. So then I'm sorry. I'm like, you know what? Let me go. And Queens got always down to this something every night. So then I started reaching out. I started looking at like comedy spots. I knew that like I can walk into any stage and like do what I got to do. So then I hit up like Godson and like, yo, hit up this chick. That chick ended up being Nemo. So
shout out Nemo.
So I hit up Nemo, right? And she's like, you got 7 minutes, come through.
Hey, yo.
Right? Just like that.
Wait, for Casa?
Not for that. Not for the Casa. I was like,
damn, really? Like,
so Nemo said you got 7 minutes, come through. So then I'm like, all right. So I pull up, like humble, right? Yeah. I'm not the guy that like the resume I just told y'all, right? And it's shit I left out. You just I'm not that guy. I'm just a regular, like 35-year-old man. Freshly single, just trying to be funny.
Just
again.
a new life.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be funny to see how like if I can do it, just to give myself something to do, so that I won't be like sitting in the crib. Yeah. So I do my set. So I had 7 minutes. I always go. Any show you go to, you give me 7. I'm going over. Like the crowd gonna like me. I'm going over. Oh, get him. So she said you got 7 minutes. So I get the flash, and then I finish my joke. But after I get the flash, I look at her like. Because, you know, we run with a crew. So I look, and I'm like, I'm in? Like, I know it's dragged there. I look, she looked and was like, and I didn't want to, like, come off, like, cocky. But even that day, after, like, introduced, we talking outside, and I say, yo, I'm not going, like, it's my first time back in a year. Okay. And then before that year, before the 2-3 shows I did at the shop, I hadn't done comedy in 10 years. So I'm like, I'm not going to, I don't know how this is going to play out. Like, right? And then I said the Bronx crowd, like, the Spanish crowd is very different. Sometimes you don't know what you get. So I'm like, yo, I don't know exactly how this is going to play out. But I said, be mindful. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be humble, but be mindful of who you put after me because it's very hard to follow me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm like, it's very hard to follow me because I come off looking crazy serious and then I'm stupid when I get up there. So I'm like, it's very hard to follow me. So it was like listen to, but not all the way.
Right.
So when I get on, it was like, oh, shit, he wasn't playing. So I gave her a look, and she's like, all right. And then we just came back close. Like I said, Nemo's the boss, man. Like, she's out in Florida right now. They do what they got to do. So after that,
the bomb for Nemo, man. Like,
so I get that, and I tell her all the time that she hates taking credit. I'm like, yo, like you created a monster. She's like, yo, I probably just woke him up. I'm like, whatever it is, I'm a monster, and I'm here. So,
but like even before though, like it always seemed that like you like to be like in the limelight too, and you said that you was always dancing. And you was
like I'm never like
you was even at the Puerto Rican parades with the cape.
Yeah, so I didn't even yo, that's crazy because I didn't even speak about the Puerto Rican Day Parade. So I did 15 years like straight the Puerto Rican Day Parade every fucking year. And
like,
one time I wore bootleg Barclays and that shit, and my sneakers were melted by like. That's when like everybody started ordering like from China and shit. I got these like the fucking 94s. I got some Puerto Rican fucking Barclays. By the time I got if you know the parade goes from 40th to 80th. I got the 50th, my shit was melted. I did some shit. I did the parade in socks. But like I said, I grew up a dancer, so anytime you see me with the flag and all that, anytime somebody could call me right now, like yo, we need a dancer. I'm gonna go. Like that's just something I love to do. But yeah, so when Nemo, so I did that first Casa show, and then it was kind of like. She said, yo, I'm going to have you in the next one. And the next one, it was like tickets. So I'm like, yo, I just did one show for Casa, and you telling me there's money to be made on my second show, and then like, so I'm like, let me get back to doing my own event. So I'm like, if I got a plug, I'll literally shoot the plug. So I'm like, if I got a plug in the Bronx, let me go back home.
Yeah.
Because I live in, let me go back home and do these shows. If for some reason I feel like when you gone a little bit and you go back home, like the love is like, so I'm doing like an LES show. So I was doing her show. I did an LES show. And it was like right before Christmas. So my LES show did like a little better than like the Casa show, but like the energy and like people just show love differently. Like
Casa?
Yeah, like the love was just different. And like, cause the people back home at LES, they kind of knew I was funny, right? They honestly, they be waiting for me to like fuck up.
That's the problem.
Right? But once I started to see that, like people coming up to me like, yo, like I didn't know it was like that, and I'm like, you knew me 30 years, like I knew you from pre-K.
Yeah.
And like, nah, I didn't know. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's whatever. I'm talking, I'm funny. So.
But you know what it is though, like it be the main people around you that don't see the potential of what you really are, and when they see later on, like, oh shit, wait, that's. Hey, you know, you didn't believe in me.
It's different from when you like Instagram funny or when you in the house funny to stage funny. So when they're like, oh shit, like you be on stage, like, yo, you practice your set. I'm like, what you thought I was gonna go up there and tell fat jokes about?
Just freestyle shit, bro. Like,
nah, hell no. Like,
this is professional, man.
Yeah. So when I started, so after I did like that first class show, I did the next one. I did an LES one, and then New Year came. I did like the other casa. So then I did my show, and then the next one, the casa one that y'all came to, right? So and then to me, it was like I take shit very like personal in a sense. So when I started, she's like, oh, I'm gonna get a headliner. So she got Tommy. When I saw Tommy on the flyer, I've done like I've seen Tommy so many times. When I saw Tommy on the flyer, it brought me back to 2016, 2017 when I bombed. I'm like, this is gonna be the best performance I ever had.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'm like, and it's because, and it wasn't even like Tommy didn't even fucking know. He until he watched this shit, he wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But when I saw Tommy on the flyer, I'm
Breaking
like,
news,
if this is really something that I want to do, I gotta prove to myself that like, and because the shows we had before, like in Casa and even my show, it was a week before Christmas. We had 27 people in it, but the first Casa show had 50, 60. Okay. Right, and then I'm used to selling out. Whether it's a coffee shop, anywhere in LES, I'm gonna sell out.
How does that feel like when you have like that? Like when you say right now, like 20 people, you're like, damn, I gotta perform for 20 people. Like, which we should all be grateful, right?
Yeah,
we should all be
but
grateful.
that's still good though.
20 right, that's what I'm saying. But some people, it'll fuck them up though, right? To be like,
no,
damn, 20 people, right? Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, so like 20 people, like,
because
damn,
like,
bro, like
you got 20 people and like 7 people laugh. Like that shit
bro.
sound empty.
It don't sound too good in a big space, but like,
Yeah, right. So it's like you can't really
But then
tell.
at the same
like,
time,
damn,
you could
like,
get a show. I like intimate shows, but you could get a show with 100 people and only 5 people laugh. But I'm like, yo, like I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I think this is some funny shit. Nobody's really laughing, and it's because there's 15, 20 people. Like we're just having, they just having conversation. Like, yo, what you got your kid for Christmas?
they ain't gonna pay attention to you.
Yo, and you can't be there like, yo, listen to me. So it was like,
but at that point, right? Like when you're a comedian, you have to try to control the crowd, no? Like how have you ever tried to pick up a crowd back to be like when you losing them, you're like, damn, you can't see yourself like, damn, I'm about to lose it. Yo, hold on, whoop.
Yeah, at that time, like no, because I'm somebody who like writes, and what I have is what I got. Like I could definitely freestyle improv, like I'm funny, so I could do all that shit. But like for me, I work so hard on like the skits that I have. Like I'm a storyteller, so I'm like I have all these stories, whatever, and a lot of stories that sound crazy, but it's life experiences. Like I have a joke, obviously the diabetes woman, or whether it's like being fat here, or like the joke that people love about like the lesbian joke or whatever, all that, or the handicap joke that people love. All that shit is true. I fuck the handicap girl, so what? Like, right? But like, so all that shit is experience. But like putting like that, punching it up and turning like a funny, like putting like really putting it all together. So like that's why I like to show.
Also, so you more okay. So your style of joke is more of a storyteller.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller, and
Gotcha.
then I like to get the reaction of like, nah, he didn't just say that shit. I like the later reactions, like so that's my style.
He just say that.
You like the wind up too, and like
So like I build it up and then
the
boom.
wait for it.
So I wasn't good with crowds, but at that time, even like I said, it was only I'm talking about a month ago. Like that's how fast
recent, right?
you have to like change or like grow.
Yeah.
So when I'm like fuck, like, so you get those 15, 20 people, I'm like they laughed or they didn't laugh, and then I go back and like I rewatch and like people are like, you know what I mean? Like I heard I asked somebody a question about like, do you always want like to be the best? Like that's how I am. Like I want to be the best in every room I go.
As you should. I think you should feel like that.
Like
for
I
sure.
tell people all
like,
the time, it's like, and even like when like I said when I fuck with like whether it's Nemo for the money, as we come as a collective, I still want to like come through and everybody do their thing. But like if I'm playing ball, like give me the ball.
Yeah,
That's
Take
the
the
last
last
I ain't gonna lie,
shot.
bro.
Let me take the
I
last
ain't gonna
shot.
lie, bro. I did I need some new ball kicks, and a lot of my mans that have been asking me to play ball. I think I'm gonna pick you up, bro. Have you on my 5.
No, I'm
But
telling
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was watching some of your clips, bro, and like
Yeah, me too.
that lefty, like
Don't
that,
leave
that
me
lucky,
open. I'm
No,
telling
leave
you.
it
bro,
open, it's over.
that lucky left
And
is
that's
so
the reason
real,
why.
bro. Cause
That's the reason why they look at him and be like, nah, I ain't gonna make it.
And I had to change it. So like to switch before like so let me just finish the comedy shit. So like I had to like, yo, I can't really. I'm like, how do I bring the crowd? So like after that show, when I tell you I'm like crazy hard on myself, they're like, yo, it's decent. Nemo be like, yo, like so me like Nemo was like the sensei at the time. Like we going back and forth. She's like, you did good. I'm like, not for me because I know what I expect from myself.
You got higher standards for
Right,
yourself.
and
pretty
then so then I start and like I said, I've only known Nemo for a month at this point.
Yeah.
much.
So now we going back and forth with like jokes doing whatever, and then I start telling her about I rap, I sing, I do whatever, and she's like, yo, you sing. So then I put on a beat, and I'm like, oh look, I could literally freestyle about food right now, right? And then she's like, yo, you sitting on gold, like that's your lane. And I'm like, y'all do like a couple fat nigga impressions or whatever. She's like, yo, you playing? What the fuck you doing? So then the next like the show at Casa, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna bring out the Biggie impression. And then, like,
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna show y'all I can rap. I'm gonna do whatever. And like the next show's coming up, so I started to incorporate like the crowd. I started incorporating like the dance and everything. Like I started to become more of an entertainer, more rather than like a comedian. Okay. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, I used to be like literally until 2 weeks ago I was scared of the crowd, and I'm like, why? Like I love the more people that's there. Like the more like you said, I love that light.
Of course. Well, listen. At some point, we got. Sorry about that. At some point, we got to build that up, right? Like, right? It's like, yo, fuck it. The jit is gonna come out one way or another, right?
Because comedians don't ever want to like, if you're like an R&B singer or rap or whatever, you have your songs, you have your track. Comedians don't ever want to get thrown off.
Yeah.
So I always had that fear of like, yo, what happens if I get thrown off? Sometimes if you get like crowd work or heckler or whatever, that set could go crazy
That could throw you off
and
for sure.
fuck whatever you wrote.
Yeah.
Because now you're just naturally funny. So, and honestly, that's what I'm learning.
How do you diverse something like that?
Yeah, even like.
Well, you know, I've been listening to.
Honestly, to keep you 100, like to give you 1,000, when I'm like waiting for my turn, I'm looking in the crowd, and I'll snap
see
on
who's
everybody in the crowd.
Before they even get to you.
Before I even, I'm joking on everybody. You usually got some kind of celebrity nickname or whatever. So I'm looking and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run with this, and if he going, I'm gonna just kill him. And I never really get like a heckler, and I don't really like want to because I want to interact. I never want like the negative. Because sometimes the negative could like the energy could get negative.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah.
But then honestly, like really controlling the crowd is like interacting. So you gotta ask like, and I never wanted to be the like, yo, what you do, where you work. I never wanted to be that comedian.
Okay.
Right? But then when like if you comment on something, now I can like elaborate on right.
Okay, you can
So
rebuttal
like
it.
at one, I saw at my last Elliot show, I got my next one next Friday the 23rd. But like my last Elliot show, right? Or even like the one at Casa y'all was at, right? The big dude was kind of like, he's like, yo, why you looking at me? I mean, nigga, I'm telling relatable fact shit. I need every fat nigga in here to relate with me, to support me.
Say, yo, film me on this one, bro.
So
Like,
I'm
what?
like looking in the room to be like, if you're a fat nigga, so it's relatable. Like I said, even the video I posted right now that like I boosted and like now it's getting traction of like, oh, I'm a fat boy, whatever.
Yeah.
Everything is relatable. Every fat nigga you ask, every fat girl you be like, I don't really fuck with fat niggas, but every nigga I see you is fat. And every
Now,
girl
whether
I
you
see-
say it or not, that's something different.
Yeah.
But every fact is gonna be relatable to it, right? So
At the end of the day, somebody's up.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, we have our preferences, and of course, as a big dude, I always want to be like with the chick that be like, yo, how the fuck you got that? But let's be honest, like I'm a fat nigga, and fat girls love fat niggas. So,
but you got, but the thing is everything in a package, right? It's charm, is charisma, bro. Is sense of humor, like you know what I'm saying. All that goes, so
It's
right.
magic.
It's
and that's where the name come from. 'Cause that's exactly where the name come from.
Drop that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people like, yo,
but-
how you got that name? And it's like, yo,
How that shit
My
came
mom even
about?
I was
believe
gonna ask him that.
yeah. So I got to, so before, so like I got like, so I used to play ball and like dance, whatever. So before, like growing up, I like, so if anybody that calls me like Truck, I know you my day one because Truck was like my basketball name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, it was like Baby Shaq. But then I never like to like be a post player because I'm like, yo, I know I can shoot. But nobody ever want to let the fat nigga shoot.
And you tall too, so
Yeah, so nobody ever want to let the big fat nigga shoot. But I'm like, yo, I know for a fact I can shoot. Like, I do this shit by myself at 7 in the morning. I used to be, I watched Space Jam and being on the basketball court 6 in the morning in the rain. I literally thought I was going to be a ball player for real. Like, you watch any of my reels, like, those are not just like highlights. If you leave me open, it's a problem.
But you know what though? Even before you continue on, just because I want to share this real quick, right? You shared a whole bunch of things that you did and you was good at it, bro. Like, but the fact that you really put your mind into it and really fucking strive to try to be the best at what you was doing,
everything.
it's what really fucking counts. Whether you didn't make it or not, whatever the case, that's cool, right? But you literally put your fucking all to anything you did, and you wanted to be the best, and that's the mindset that we should be like installing into the youth and all that more. Like, yo, if you want to do something, put your all. It is possible to do something. That's what I tell
the youth. Like I said, I work in education. That's what I tell the youth. That's what I tell people. Like, yo, like they be like, yo, why you didn't make it before? To be completely honest, I didn't have, the drive was different. Like, I always wanted like fast results.
Yeah, you okay.
Right? And I'm like, yo, how the fuck, like, I get all these compliments or how I am this good in ball. You mean, like, off the, like, in my freshman, like, 9th and 10th grade, I came off the bench, but I averaged 30. Like, oof. How you come off the bench and average 30? That's because 8 and 9 3, nigga, like, if you do math, you know math.
Yeah.
I'm just shooting. I'm going to tell you right now, ask my people to this day, don't give me the ball. What the fuck is passing? I know how to pass, and I think I'm Magic Johnson when I do, but I'm not passing.
But you did say that you a good passer, though.
Yeah,
I saw a post that you said you a good passer.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna pass.
But you're not gonna pass. Oh, so you try to give it to the doubters, like, yo, you not think I can still pass? I'm a good passer.
In my head, if I'm like trying to bring up, like, it's literally for me. It's not for you to get a basket. It's to see if I can make the pass to, like, oh shit, it's nice. Like, if the camera's on, like, if my son is with me and me recording, let me try to make a pass.
Easy one.
But if you give me any space, I don't give a fuck where I'm at.
I'm sure.
I'm shooting. I trust myself to shoot before anybody else. But then go shoot. I'll shoot 5 air balls and shoot that shit from half again.
That's it. But listen, but that right there, that's the confidence, though. That's the confidence of what you're doing. Yo, even if I fail once, 2, 3, yo, I'm gonna come back. And it's like with the comedy shit. Since a kid, and we spoke about this before, like with the oh shit, that shit that the Wallow said shit caught me with the when it takes you to another place.
Divine intervention.
Boom. The divine misdirection, right? Like, you was on track of what you doing now. What the funny thing is, right? And then you did all these other things, but then you circle back around to
honestly, that shit was building my story.
Facts.
I always knew I wanted to be, like I said, I'm always thinking like business minded, right? So now I'm like, yo, do I got to get back on stage and like be the face for the next 2-3 years until I get that business? Like I said, like when the fucking, like, now I'm like, if you see the pictures, like I'm fucking with like Norva Yo and everybody like heavy, right? Yeah. I went to high school with Da Vinci, niggas don't even know that. So like, so when I see like these dudes, like, really said, and they with Nemo right now, they killed in Florida last night. So when I see this shit, I'm like, Norva Yo posted the other day, nigga got a construction shit. And I'm just like, that's the goal. Like, I'm tired of somebody telling me what the fuck to do. Facts. So if I gotta go tell jokes or do whatever, and like I said, I got these favors that I feel like people owe me, but I'm also an event planner. That's what I love to do. I got a certificate. I went to Baruch for project management. Like, so I'm like I said, I'm a nerd. Like, I'm a basketball player. Like,
y'all niggas, y'all take notes, man.
Basketball player, comedian, entertainer. Dancer, because I also seen that you was getting paid to do the Dougie too on a couple shows.
So I got paid. Honestly, the Dougie paid for my child for the first year of his life. I had no job. I got my first job in DOE when my son was 14 months. Oh, wow. The Dougie, Tyra, and doing the jerk or the fucking cat daddy paid for. Like, I used to go to, like, they'd be like, I would literally get paid to go to like local bars. And be like, I'll give you $100 and like those are bars. I'll give you $100 and like a couple free drinks. I didn't start drinking until I was 25.
Oh, wow.
So I did all this shit where I was with women or did whatever. My vice was sports and girls and all the artistic shit. I never even tried bud. I never smoked. Yeah. Like, so when I say I don't smoke, I never even tried it.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And then like, I started drinking at 24, 25. So when I would go and get these fucking fish bowls at or whatever, margaritas, how it started coming out, I would just bring girls with me. Then it looked good. They're like, oh, like, because bar owners, whatever, they always like women around. So it's like, oh, like, this fat dude brings women with him. Right? And they'll be like, yo, I'll wait till 11. They'd be like, yo, go now. Literally, my man's will be like, yo, start dancing, pull me in. Like, it was you got served. I'll start dancing. People go crazy. And like, now the lounge and shit is different. Now everything is like different.
They orchestrated all that, bro. Like, and you getting free drinks, all the girls come.
So I would get paid to start the party, and then we would make side bets. Like, yo, my man's a better dancer than you. And then you see, at the time, when Dougie came out, I was still 400 pounds. Like, so they'd be like, yo, they'd be like, there's no way. And I'm going to kill you.
Are you winning?
All the time.
Oh, you winning.
And even if I wasn't a better dancer because I was fat and it was a shock factor.
Yeah.
But the Dougie, like, so if you know the song, like, in the song, he says, he go by Bubba and he do that shit like thunder. And if you know me or if you go on my Instagram, my son's name, his name is, I'm not gonna never say his real name because Nobody. He never even heard. He's about to be 14. He never heard me say his real name. I named him Bubba when he was born, and like that's what it's been. So it's been Magic and Bubba ever since. So my son is Bubba, and honestly, I tell him, I'm like, he's like, you did not name me that shit. I'm like, my man, like
That's your
that
name,
shit
buddy.
fed you. Like I said, because there's like certain situations. Like I said, I was a single dad for the first 2-3 years, and I got mad support from like whether my son's mom or like family, everybody else. You mean, but like nigga, you was Bubba, and like being Bubba, like so when I was putting you down in your playpen and like coming back. Like I was making that $7,500 a night, and then I wasn't like I was spending it on my son.
$7,500 a night on the Dougie
from Thursday to Sunday, Thursday Saturday.
Hold on.
To do literally do the Dougie.
$7,500 just to do the Dougie.
I was if you
Monday
look,
through what?
like
Sunday?
yeah, if you look,
like this.
so I did like I did like a Super Bowl show, and then at the time I was working in the. So like if you watch Wild 'N Out, if you like really watch episodes, it's the same crowd sometimes in like 2-3 episodes. And then I used to work my man who now has like a cruise line, but at the time he used to put us on, and I would get paid a couple $. We used to work the crowd in Wild 'N Out, but I was just trying to get on Wild 'N Out. And every so it's the same crowd, and then you shuffle the crowd for the cameras, whatever. So at the time, so then we had a Super Bowl when the Super Bowl was in MetLife, and that's when I got on Fuse and MTV. I was a plant. They're like, yo, aren't you the kid from Wendy? So I was on Tyra and Wendy. So they were like, aren't you the kid from
And Wendy's too?
So they were like, aren't you the kid?
Hold
So
on.
I did the Dougie on Wendy first. So like, aren't you the kid from like Wendy? Like, yeah. They're like, yo, we're going to have a dance contest. We're going to tell people raise their hand. We're going to pull you out. And they how much I'm paying because I need money.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
and literally,
Business.
yo, I did the
Business.
Dougie, like, the Dougie fucking, I'll probably still bug anybody. Like, I'll be, like, I saw a clip earlier today of, like, Damian Lillard, like, oh, the best Dougie in the world. I'll kill that nigga. Like, my Dougie's so crazy. Like, so, but literally, the Dougie, no lie, the Dougie.
$7,500 a day?
I'm telling you, I tell people straight up, like, and people thought I always dressed, like, decent. They thought I had money. I had no money. Like, I started working for DOE when in 2011, my son was 1. But that first 12 months, 13 months of his life, nigga, that shit was straight like Tyra money or Dougie money. And that's when like I was doing comedy for 4 or 5 months, and then I did the Boston shit, so that shut me down.
So when did you start doing the whole Tupac Biggie monologue?
The Biggie, honestly, I've always like done it. So again, like the more I ask, the more I'm gonna dig in the back.
That's how we doing it.
I always knew I could do the Biggie voice, so I go to the Biggie audition, and that was big for me. Like I did. So if you watch like all these shows, like. I didn't know that, like, so if people don't know, so if you ever be like, yo, I want to get on TV, understand that, like, if you're on TV or you're on TV trying to be, like, a public figure, especially now, there's contracts that you sign. So when I signed, like, Tyra, like, Wendy, she pulled me out the crowd, and Wendy was like, oh, my God, like, I have this, like, fat boy crush on you, so me and Wendy were cool. So she pulled me on the show 2-3 times. But, like, the shit that I signed for Tyra, I couldn't fuck up Tyra's, like, look, so it had to look like I was a plant there too. I got $2,500 from the pageant. I did a poem and a dance for like a little fat boy and fat girl pageant or whatever. And then they picked me to be on the show. But before that, like, so I signed a contract I didn't even know. I was just signing papers. I'm trying to get a couple dollars. So I signed a paper that like, I couldn't be on like national TV or I couldn't be on anybody. She was on like NBC Network. I didn't know NBC owned every fucking body. So I couldn't be on no NBC show.
Wow.
For 5 years.
Contract and all that?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know that. Because while you're a public figure or whatever. So when I did this shit, I did Tyra, so I tried to do like The Biggest Loser. So I started to do all these other like shows, and then I made it on Biggest Loser, and then they literally cut out all my scenes and like sent me home because I was already on NBC and I had that contract. Wow. And I'm like, yo, Biggest Loser was the one thing I knew I was gonna win. Like,
wow.
So I did all that shit, but like. When I did the Biggie audition, I always like I had like this I forgot what like there was like I used to pay like $9.99 a month for it, and it was like kind of like they used to send you like auditions and shit. So I saw the Biggie audition, and so I overheard it. I saw it on MySpace or some shit, and I'm like, nah, no way, right? And I know that like honestly, I don't know if people realize, but like I didn't know Biggie was 6'4". I didn't know Biggie was 6'4", 300 pounds.
I know he was 300 pounds, but I didn't know that nigga was 6'4".
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That nigga Biggie,
I didn't know that shit. Damn.
Biggie 6'4", 6'5".
Wow.
Wears size 14, 15 shoes.
God damn, he's
I didn't
tall.
know Biggie was a real big nigga like that.
I didn't know that, bro.
So
Breaking news.
now I go to this audition. There's 5, 7 fat niggas here, and I'm like, I know goddamn well, and I know I don't really look like them, but I wanted to play kind of like, you know, like Biggie started like when he was selling like whatever he did, like you know, like if you watch the movie, like. When he was wearing like the polo, when he had like the roof, like the trunk on the rooftop.
Yeah.
I wanted to play that Biggie. Like I was only 19, 20. And then I'm like, yo, like, and then I still have like, I'm telling you, I'm at auditions all the time. So at this time, I'm like, it's the Biggie movie, it's making the band. So I'm like, I have all these like Bad Boy, and I've always loved Bad Boy. Everybody know me that I love Bad Boy. I'm an R&B, like I said, I'm like, I've always had these Bad Boy connections because I look for them because I idolize these dudes.
Right.
So then I'm like, somebody gonna see me and know, oh, that's Magic. And so at the time now I'm Magic. So I'm like, oh, they gonna see Magic, right? So when I go to big audition, I've lost this Max B deal, but I've had credibility.
Your name was out there though.
Yeah.
Your
So
name
I
out
had
there,
these like, so I'm like, they gonna see me at a big audition and know. But nobody knew I know how to do the Biggie voice. So then it was like, cool. So I do the Biggie voice, right? So they had to do, I posted on Instagram. So like the one line I had to do was like or dancing in the jungle. I do that line. They're like, oh. So I go to next round. Gravy, who actually played Biggie in the movie, they flew him in from Miami, right? Flew him in from Miami. I don't know if it was his mother or representative from the family. The minute they flew him in, like literally, it was in some bullshit like annex building in Brooklyn. So literally, there's 300 fat black niggas on the steps lined up, right?
That's crazy.
Just to
I'm
play
in the
Biggie,
front
yeah.
because
To
I'm
play
like,
Biggie.
I'm already like sticking around. So they give you like a little pass, whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna do the Biggie voice again. And honestly, I'm like, maybe I just get a voiceover. Like, did people get paid for voicing? I've always thought like, how do I just get paid?
Yeah. You was a businessman.
Always, to this day.
business minded
Yeah.
first before anything
So I'm like,
else.
yo, how do I get paid? So I'm like, maybe I could be a voiceover.
Yeah.
The minute Gravy walked in that room, his mom, whoever, started like crying. They said, yo, go home.
What?
The minute he walked in, I said, yo, and then he's way bigger than us. At the time, like, I fucking lost like 100 pounds. I was 24, 25, and I grew like 2 inches. Shit was retarded. So at the time, I was like 5'11", 6 feet, but like, I was so taller than a lot of dudes. I'm talking about, there was dudes 30, 40 years old, 5'6", 5'7", who were just like, oh, you looking for a fat black dude? I'm gonna go. Literally, every fat black dude in New York was at that audition that knew about it.
So once he walked in, everybody had he shut it down.
It was over.
No, like
that's
they knew,
tough.
like, nah, yeah,
I never
that's
made it
him.
to that
That's the
door,
guy.
though.
Tough. That's the guy.
That's the guy.
Because he looked like,
Nah, he did. I ain't gonna.
I mean,
lie.
and I never met the real Biggie, but he looked like,
Yeah, son.
and then I'm like, yo, like,
Yeah.
and then he said, Gravy, I think Gravy like 6'4". So I'm like, I didn't know. I thought, honestly, if you look at everybody looks tall on TV. Like, if you ever meet
I didn't know he was that tall though. Shit.
But most of his pictures are down here.
Yeah,
Like,
or he's sitting down or whatever.
he
But when
sit
you look
down.
in the movie, he's like, yo, I wear size fucking 14. And then when you look, and you're like, yo,
Shit. That's fucking true. You're right.
Biggie
Holy shit.
is a tall, like, that dude
I
was
never
huge.
put that. Yo, damn. That shit just blew my mind. Pause, bro.
And honestly,
That's
I didn't know,
crazy, bro. Like,
I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm very like aware of like my roots, right? So I'm like, I'm black, like I'm good. But you don't look, like I said, the eyebrows, the mustache, like you don't realize like Biggie talked about how black and dark he was. Like it's just cameras. Nah, Biggie was really dark. Like
that's yeah. He
But in my head, I'm like, when you sound like to me, I sound enough like him. So I'm like, not here. I sound like a bitch. But when I do my Biggie voice, right? I'm like, yo, like. You could paint me or do whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it's fucking,
right.
This was
Put some fucking
2007,
face
8.
spray on me or some shit.
Nah.
Ah, word, right?
When that dude walked in and like he had to walk, he didn't sound like Biggie at all. They had to like, if you watch like the making of the movies or if you was in those auditions with me, you know, some of the people they used to have like a little capsule, like the little, like almost like a glow stick, and they used to you had to use the glow because you had to wear something because Biggie had that shit. So to me, I used to do it like pose with my tongue to hold my lip like this, But they used to get so literally anybody who auditioned, they gave you like a capsule.
So
to put here. Once he put that shit,
it was over. That's yeah. Everybody looked like, damn, it was over. So you talk. So now you talk about like, you know, you had lost weight, and I'm glad you said that because I want to lead into that. Like, talk about like your weight loss journey, bro. Because I see you
went through the Billy Blanks.
I
You
lost
went through the
100 pounds
extreme.
3
dude.
times. You know how stupid that is?
Whoa.
Whoa.
I gained this shit right back. I lost it and found it under my bed.
Then that shit went to go take a shower and came right back.
What was the highest you went? Like, what was the
I was
biggest you got?
420, like 418.
Right now?
At 14?
No, hell no, I'm not
No.
418.
I'm about
You
to
said,
say.
damn.
No, so I was 418 pounds. So,
You said at 14?
But how tall you were at that age?
so I was like 6 feet, 5'11", 6 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, before.
So I was like 418, and I didn't know. So when they weighed me on Tyra, I was 386 on Tyra. By the time my son was born, that's how some people's pregnancy weight. By the time my son was born, I was 405.
Oh wow.
Fourth.
Damn, man.
So and I didn't know because if you know me or growing up, yo, I've always played ball. I've always played these sports, and I always had bitches. Like that was my thing. Like I've always had like a girl with me, and I've always played sports. So I didn't know. Obviously, I wasn't getting some of the girls that like, nah, I ain't fucking with no
It was just that
Sometimes-
confidence. That
Sometimes we
wasn't
just
like-
lose ourselves with just in that
always,
space.
I
of it.
always felt like I was the man. It wasn't even, honestly, it wasn't even about girls. But when I walk in the room, I'm going to feel myself. I've always walked. And then you try to guard me in ball, whether it was basketball, football, baseball. Like, I'm
Tennis.
a Hispanic. That's my first. Like, if you see, I got a Braves hat. And there's a story behind that, too. So, like, I'm a diehard. Like, yo, when we won, like, when we made it to the World Series in 2020, 21, I cried. Like, because I remember, like, so to tell you about the Braves, it was 1995. So I was supposed to be a Met fan. My grandfather's like in this house, and I feel like a lot of the earliest Puerto Ricans were Met fans. So my grandfather's like in this house with Met fans. Baseball, you either love it or hate it. That shit is so boring to watch.
I swear to God,
You either love it
I
or
don't hate it, but I just don't watch it because it is boring
I heard
as
it's
fuck.
I heard
bro.
it's better
Like,
to watch it in person than like
Not-
on TV.
not
Hell
even
yeah, like if you can't, like, you either love that, you either that Hispanic where you love it, you hate it.
It's slow.
Even
It's
in
a
person,
slow
man.
sport.
I went to
Even
like
in
5
person
games.
for sure.
That's what I'm saying, because you just in person waiting there for so long for them to
It's
score. So
slow.
it's like
Hell
once they
no.
get it, it's like, yeah.
And that's it. I started like, but like, I already had like played basketball, and like I fell in love with Shaq when he was like LSU. So I've been watching sports since I was like 2 or 3 because when I'm 3, my brothers are 12 and 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he used to collect cards and shit. So
Okay.
like I felt
Ooh,
like
I remember those days.
so I love Shaq when he was like at LSU, and like I tell people like, yo, how do you understand sports? And like when I was 2, like sports to this day, like I'm a sports fanatic. I'm missing the fucking bullshit celebrity game. I'm gonna go home and watch
Yo,
it.
I was just saying that too. I was like, yo, that shit
I literally
started
like
today.
anything that has to do with sports, I like watch.
Oh, yeah,
So-
All-Stars
All-Star
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
weekend.
I always watch it. So the break, like the Atlanta show, if you on my Instagram and you see like, yo, why this nigga so Atlanta obsessed? You would think I lived there or born there. I think I've been there. I was there for
what made
an
you a
hour.
Braves fan? Atlanta's fan.
So my grandfather's like in his house with Braves fans, and my brother's a Braves fan. My brother, honestly, is like my pops. So I'm like, all right, so we're gonna watch baseball. I didn't know baseball came in series and shit. So first, I'm telling you, I could tell you the date, the time, the game. 7 o'clock game. Watching this shit. And I'm like, nigga, the Braves, the Mets are getting killed.
Yeah.
Where he was like, you know what? Forget it. Let's wait till tomorrow. So the Saturday games used to be like sometimes they still play at 1, but the weekend games start at 1:10. So the next day, by the time we wake up, we eat. So I used to go see my pops. So by the time I go see my pops, come back from the bus, literally it's like 12, 1 o'clock. So all the Mets are playing. 7-0. Like, this is not sad. It's not
Yeah, nigga, this is upset right now.
Nigga, I just went and cried with my dad, speaking to my dad through a fucking glass, and now I gotta watch these niggas get shut out. He's like, yo, the game is at 7 tomorrow. So I used to go home on Sundays. You better watch this fucking game. Watch the game. So I tell my brother, yo, my brother used to always try to get me to watch the Mets games. So I'm like, no. You show me basketball, you show me football, I'm good. I used to like the Cowboys and shit. So I'm like, you show me that, I'm good.
Yeah.
You show me, like, I watched the Cowboys, they won chips, so I'm good. So I'm like, yo, I gotta watch so my brother's hype, like, oh, again, there was like 4-1. And I'm like, this shit is sad. Like, I'm hurt. So the next weekend when I go see my pops, so I go, right, again, the Mets are playing.
Yeah.
Not watching that shit. Right? I'm trying to watch it. I'm watching it, but I'm like, these niggas suck. It's crazy because like I always saw my dad in jail. I had such a fear of my dad that like I never did anything in my life without approval.
Yeah.
So I go see my dad, right? I'm like, through the glass, like, yo, hello, pick up the phone. So nigga pick up, I'm like, yo, I think I'm a Tahuelo. I don't like the Mets.
Just to see what he's
He's
gonna
like,
say.
my dad is like, nigga, I can't save you from it.
Bueno, yo estoy aquí.
I'm like, I'm a Tahuelo, I don't like the Mets. I'm like, I told my grandmother to cover her ears.
Yo.
I'm like, abuela. I'm like, yo, I was watching the Braves all week and they didn't lose.
Hey, yo, got him.
And I'm like, yo, and there's this guy, his name is David Justice, right? I'm like, yo, he's like mad big. He's like a lefty. Like, so I write my right hand, but I'm a lefty in sport. So I'm like, yo, I like that guy. Like, he's cool. He's mad strong. I'm like, yo, dad, he looks like you. He mad, but he got like a jail body. Like, he brolic. So my dad's like, all right.
You on your own.
So literally, I'm like, I go back. I go tell my grandfather, that dude, as much as he loved me, it took me for like a month.
Yo.
But then I realized, so that year, now you got all these, like, the Braves were wilding. And then, like, so TBS, like, owned the Braves at the time. I didn't have no, like, I come from shit, so I didn't have no cable at the time. But the Braves played on TBS every day.
Yeah.
Yo, I watched the Braves literally over 100 games that season.
Sheesh.
Then we win the World Series in 95.
And you became a super fan.
I'm like, wait, I dedicated my life to this whack-ass sport for a whole year and I win the World Series? And now my brother hates me, my grandfather hates me. Like, I'm with
It was all worth it.
I'm
Fuck
with
it.
it.
So like that was the first like so my brother's like, all right, so now you got to go for every Atlanta team because at the time like the Hawks sucked, whatever. So I'm like, he's like in this house, like so my brother's like all Knicks because the brother under him, he's like fuck him, I'm going all LA. So my brother like the Kings in hockey, the Lakers.
Oh, nah, he wild.
Yeah, he
Right, all
fooled
this
you on
shit.
that
So
one. Nah,
he
he
fooled
fooled you
you.
on that
He
one.
fooled- he
He
wild.
loved the Raiders, so I'm like, fine, I'll go for all Atlanta teams. But I'm like, I'm not giving up Shaq.
No,
I'll be a Shaq fan.
he was Orlando too.
I'll be a Shaq fan and I'll go for all these teams. So fine. And then the next year, the Atlanta Braves, the shit comes like a party. They doing the Dirty Bird dance and all that. I said, oh, this shit is fun. And I became a Falcon fan. So I was like 96, and then I followed Shaq, and then people used to call me Baby Shaq. I got tired of being called Baby Shaq. I'm like, I need to be somebody I play like, because I hate being in the post. I know I can shoot, but when you're the big dude, coaches used to like, anytime I shot, go run laps.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, if I can make it when I shoot, I don't got to run laps. So I started working on free throws every day. Literally, I used to shoot 500 free throws every day.
So that's what made you like I know you was big too, but so I mean, what actually made you want to like go in that journey? Like, was it your health or was it because of sports or so something made you realize like, yo,
No, so
I
can do
need to
this.
start losing
I
weight.
hurt
No,
my back.
listen, I need to start losing weight. You know what
Nah,
actually?
my back always hurt because I was a fat kid, but like I hurt my back to the point to where I couldn't walk.
Okay.
So when I started to heal, and then at the time I didn't have insurance, but when you like tore, like when you tear like ligaments or like disc and all that, they're like, oh, heal on its own. It's not going to heal on its own when you're 420 pounds.
Yeah.
And then I'm still trying to play ball.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to do tall type of shit. Like, yo, literally, I had like at the time, my mattress was like on the floor. I'm like, there was times I couldn't get up. And I'm like, I'm 21, 22, and I can't get up from bed. That's crazy. And then how the fuck, like, my son is 8, 9 months old. I couldn't like pick him up. I couldn't do shit with him. So I'm like, so I started going to like Planet Fitness. And then when you that big, yo, you stop eating certain shit. You go to the gym twice. You drop 10 pounds a week.
I mean, you that water weight's coming up fast.
So I literally lost 100 pounds in like probably like 11, 12 weeks.
Sheesh.
So
So
you
now-
said you gained it 3 times,
So
twice back.
I
like,
lose it. So when you lose it, you gain it that back fat. So I lose 100 pounds, right? And I was like good for a while. And then I started doing like podcasting before. It was like probably I was doing like radio, what is like 9-Line Radio. I did like 9-Line Radio in the Bronx. So I started doing like radio, and then like I started like, then I'm smaller. I kind of want to start rapping again. So I go back. I hit up my Triple M people. I'm like, yo, I got a little bit of money now. So then I end up paying like Low Deluxe for a feature. Murder Mook, Max B was already like locked up. So I do. So like now I'm putting like money in, but I'm like, then I started doing radio. I started doing podcasts, and I'm like, I'm way better at this shit because I get to be myself and be fun.
Right.
So then I started doing like I did this shit with like 9-Line Radio. Then I was like on XM. And I started getting sponsorships, and I'm getting hosting. I'm telling you, if Instagram was like popping when I was like doing radio, I would probably still be doing radio.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
then,
ask you
like,
about that too.
I used to get paid like, so I used to get paid to do the Dougie $50, $70, like $5. And I'm getting $200 to go like host a party. And hosting is like,
There's a hustle everywhere, man. Like there's hustle everywhere.
so I started like, so when I started doing that, so I'm like, but then of course you get, and then I had like, end up moving to the Bronx. I had a girl. You get comfortable, right? You start
You
chilling.
say you started coming to the Bronx or you moved to the
I
Bronx?
moved to the Bronx.
You moved to the Bronx. Really? How long you was in the Bronx for?
2 years. I mean,
Okay.
give or take. Yeah, I was like 2 years. I used to live on 163rd, but then you get like comfortable. Like,
How was that transaction like going from LES to the Bronx? Like, do you see like a major difference?
yo,
Like,
that shit was like,
is it really like Wild Wild West? Like, the way how
Remember-
people make it seem?
it's different because like when I was in the LES, like everybody, even like the young niggas coming up, like everybody knew me. In the Bronx, like nobody knew me.
Yeah.
They were pushing back hairlines like crazy. Yo, everybody want to do your eyebrows. The food is way better. Spanish food in the Bronx is definitely better than.
Yo, that's hilarious, bro.
But my girl at the time didn't eat pork, so life was. I didn't even cheat. I used to wait for her to leave and go eat chuletas. 'Cause this shit was,
You go to restaurants to the corner cuchi frito.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Let me get 2 of them chuletas right there. Like,
yo, she get home at 6. Nigga, I need this shit
let me get some.
now.
They could be in the back of the restaurant, the Lolo.
But honestly, like as much shit as like I could talk about the Bronx, people talk about the Bronx. I miss
shout
like
out
the
BX,
culture.
man. This is
The
the home.
culture, like the culture's still here. Like
Yeah.
the culture's still in the Bronx, and like I said, we talked about it earlier. The LES they didn't have that shit. So I enjoyed like living in the Bronx. They said the food was better. It felt like there was always something to do. And then like I said, when I was doing like the 9-Line Radio, which is like out here in thriving, like so like a lot of shit that was like happening for me was in the Bronx. Then I started dealing with my man John Bracken, who's like also like affiliated with like Opera Steve and all that. So I started getting back into like, so it wasn't in John Brackett somebody I knew from like Triple M. So it was like I started coming back. Triple M's like Harlem shit, but like I started coming back into like
The rapping scene.
like yeah, and then like and honestly like the Bronx spot started like really popping, opening up. So like I definitely like the culture was still here. Like me, when you go shopping, like.
You still got 4 of them.
Yeah, like people still fat in the Bronx, so it was easy to shop. In the LES, like now, if I go to like Soho, whatever, you can't shop for shit.
Yeah,
But in the Bronx, like Dr. J's is like the male rainbow. Like, yo. So I used to be on 4, like yo, like oh shit, 149. I used to live on 163rd and 3rd, so I used to go to 149, whatever. Shit was way cheaper, like so. The transition for me, like I enjoyed it.
Nigga said Dr. J's is the Izzy Pickens for men. Yeah.
I used to be in my girl's crib all the time. Like I didn't intend to move there, but I used to be in my girl's crib all the time. And my mom be denying this shit. But like I used to be in the crib, like I used to be in the Bronx all the time. So my mom lived by herself. So she's like, yo, like everybody, like it was niggas that needed like rooms and shit. Like so like the A-Rap store around my block. So like, yo, like we need, they come here for 6 months and then they go back home.
Yeah.
So yo, we need somebody to like, so I go back home one day and she's like, nah, nigga, like somebody living in there. This nigga was holding blanket. He was making my bed the Aki way.
Never.
This nigga was making my bed the. I'm like, yo, I bought this bed, bro. Like, this nigga's making my bed the Aki way.
Nigga turned around and said, sure.
Don't forget the bed.
I opened the door. My son was like, and the results. I said, this nigga's making my bed the Aki way. I said, nah, I gotta get the fuck out. I called my girl like, yo, no. I'm like, yo, I don't know if you want to still be with me or not, but I'm moving to the Bronx.
No, they doing my bed the Aki way over here. That's crazy, bro.
But
my man said the results.
I said, nah. Yo, but so my son was making my bed the Aki way. So I ended up moving to the Bronx for like another like a year or so after that. Like, but the transition was like I said, everything was cheaper. I'm being honest. Like,
Everything was cheaper.
Oh yeah, like I used to get sofrito from 149th and 3rd. That's the first time I saw sofrito red, and I'm like, oh, yo, for 5 years I came back to that butcher shop on 149th and 3rd to get sofrito. I still think about it. I have dreams about that shit.
That red sofrito hit different.
A girl could be like, I could be talking to her, I'm like, I'm not really feeling you. She'd be like, yo, my sofrito's red. And I'm like,
you got me, bro.
That's stunt right there. You crazy? We talking nice over here.
LeBron, like, I say even now, like I said it off camera, like I would definitely like move back here. I wouldn't move to like the south side, like I would have moved to like South Bronx or whatever. But nah, like I mean, shit is changing, but like the culture's still here. Like I said, I'm coming from LA, and anybody out there who want to argue with me, like the shit is not the same. We honestly never really had the full culture, unless you're from Avenue C, Avenue D.
That's a fact.
Like, where I'm from, I'm from Chinatown. It's Chinatown and the Jewish Project behind me.
Oh.
The Truth Project.
There's no Caribbean restaurant. There's no whatever. And like we have
true,
our 1 or 2 Castillos, but it's Castillo 1, 2, or 3. We don't. There's nothing. And I said I fuck with Adela's, which is on the Ave, and I know some of the like I said,
Castillo 1, 2, and 3.
down the hill. So we don't have that culture. So the Bronx overall was like.
So what? So what made like right now? You definitely don't not for something. What made you stay on that path to be like, yo, I don't want to go back up there?
So I lost the weight.
Or are you on that?
So I lost the weight. I found it, right? I lost the key. I lose keys. I can't find that, but I lost 100 pounds and found it fast. Because the quicker you like burn it, the fat. Because a lot of it is like water weight and all that. So I kind of like gained it back. I gained some of it back, and then I broke up with my ex in the Bronx, and I moved back home to the LES, and I'm just chilling. I'm like, you mean, like I said, I don't think I've ever been depressed, and if I have been, depression tastes good. Like, I just eat. So I kind of like gained it back, and I gained like 80, 90 pounds back. But you don't notice, like you think, oh, like damn, my knee hurt today, my back hurt today. I'm just getting older. Yeah. But again, I'm still in the street. I'm still playing ball. I never stopped balling. I never stopped doing those things. I never stopped dancing. So I'm like, yo, like.
So that's keeping you active and all that shit.
But I'm being active. But then I'll go run 4 fools right now and then go eat 2 plates of some shit. So that's not. I'm getting it right back.
Right.
So and at the time, like I have type 2 now, so I don't really fuck with like sugar crazy. But at the time, I'm like. I wouldn't go drink water. I would go like have soda and shit. So, I would have a soda in the basketball court and still bust your ass. Like,
that's crazy.
Still bust your ass. But so I ended up gaining. So I went from like 420, I went down to 307. So from 307, I went back to 391. So after I go 391, I started work. When I moved back to the LES, I started working for a wine shop. So I started doing like wine deliveries, but on bike. We didn't have fucking these e-bikes, and I'm talking about 2013, 14.
That's a fact.
So when I started riding when I started riding my bike doing deliveries, I started dropping mad weight again. And it's great. It's fucked up as it sounds like. I've always like got attention, but literally I could go from like 350 to 310, and the way the women look around me definitely changed. It definitely shifted. And I'm like, I tell people, I don't know if it's in my face that's smaller, so my beard look more lined up, but like, there's definitely a shift, no matter if people want to admit it or not. Right? But then my favorite shit was like, I've always liked to like look decent. You know what I mean? I never wanted to be like a fat sloppy nigga. Yeah. The option of shopping like, is a real shit. Like,
that limits you and all that shit, right?
I joke all the time about my legs. So my legs never been an issue. So when I gained the weight back, my pants went to like a 42. And I know that's probably like, you can still find it in a regular store, but for a nigga like me who got skinny nigga legs, I was 400 pounds and still wore 38, 40.
Gotcha.
Right? So it was like, and literally if you put me in a fucking wedding or whatever, I had to buy 2 suits because my jacket's 56, my pants are 38, 40. So I'm like, like when I saw like the option of like shopping was better, so I was like, I didn't drop more weight. So I went back from like 390, now I go back to 310. Yeah. And I'm like, I gotta crack that 300, gotta crack that 300, gotta crack the
200s and shit.
But then it's like, damn, like when you start to see like 310, like 315, so I lose weight, and then COVID happened. Like everybody blaming COVID, but it's real shit. COVID happened, like I was definitely doing like home workouts and shit, but like I'm home. I started like picking up wine. I'm playing Madden, drinking wine with my man and shit. Like, yo, what wine we drinking today? So now that sugar, like the sugar started, I got off like medication like 3-4 years before that. So now I'm drinking wine and doing whatever. So like niggas are getting all kind of, literally I bought like 3 bicycles. I bought a car. I fixed my credit. Everything was crazy because I'm literally home.
Yeah, while you're home.
And then Uber doing whatever. Like all I did was eat. Like I'm eating good. I feel like I had so much money. Like, yo, I'm eating good. So like I started gaining weight back like during like COVID. So I like lost. And at first in the beginning of COVID, I started like losing it. Then I started like gaining a little bit. So I'm like, let me focus. I started losing it again. I get in a relationship like that, which was like the one I was just in, which is like from 2020 to 2023, whatever the fuck. Yeah. And again, like I cook really well. So if you see in my stories, I like get down. Obviously, I'm just up fat. Like I love cooking. So then I get with a chick who like, oh, she love cooking. So now we over here trying to be fucking influencers, cooking all kind of shit. I'm eating 4 or 5 meals. I never had somebody like to really like cook for me like that. I'm usually cooking for myself. So now I'm just like, oh shit, different. Like all right, little black white girl, like you can cook this, I'm gonna cook that.
Now you're competing now. What?
And then you get like comfortable again. And then the weight started to go back up, and then so the last time like I lost it unhealthy, right? I didn't look unhealthy because I'm still 300 pounds, but my sugar had went up. I didn't know I was like back on type 2 diabetes. So like I'm like, you fucking pee often, like all kind of shit like happens to your body. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm like losing weight. I look good again, but it was unhealthy, like lost weight. So now I'm again like, so now like I said, I'm back single. I'm in my crib. So now sometimes like I'm learning Queens, and Queens got good food. So right now I'm like at 309, 310, but 4 or 5 months ago I was at 290, like, and I want to be at 260, 270. But like I know exactly what it takes to like. I got my certificate from like the NASA company, so like I know how to like train you to lose weight. I do all that shit, but now I just like keep it. So now for me it's like it's more of a health reason. Like I'm getting older. Yeah. My son is a big like if you watch like Bubba, my man, but that's a big kid. Like, and so I try to like show him, and like it's kind of hard when you like young and try to diet, but like I try to like show him like yo look. I gotta fucking take a shot once a week, or I gotta take a fucking pill every day.
I was gonna ask you that too, like, cause right now you talk about like diabetes and all that, and that's big. That's how you gotta really watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the food, and when you used to just like you said, just eat and being a big dude and all that shit, you gotta drop a lot of that shit, man. So how is that like even going through that? Like,
I go through like phases.
And when did that start? Sorry, I don't want to. When did that start too? Like,
it started for me when I saw that like. I became like in 2017. I became like type 2 diabetic, and then they took me off the meds in a couple months. Like, oh, okay, cool. Then she was like a joke, but like I said, the sister that I talked about that passed away, like my grandmother, everybody like passed from diabetes. So I'm like, yo, like in my head, I always knew I was gonna get it. So I kind of almost like forced myself to like get it, because I never like
you forced yourself to get diabetes.
To me, in my head, I'm like, I think I did. Like I always drank like sugary shit, and then I started like seeing my body, like I started to see like some of the shit like my sister went through. I literally took a gallon of Minute Maid juice with me to the doctor. I'm like, yo, I know I got type 2 diabetes now, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna finish this juice.
That check me.
And my sugar, she was like, yo, if you would have finished that gallon, you would have dropped in here.
Wow.
Right? So then it was like, yo, like now that I started to notice that like the recovery process was different, right? And then I'm like, yo, I started to get hurt more playing ball. Like I literally, a year and a half ago, I had a ruptured heel or whatever. from fucking playing football like on grass in a barbecue.
Yeah.
And I used to be 400 pounds and like I could run. I ride bike. So I would ride bike and go play at like 7 different A basketball courts throughout the day. And be like, yo, how the fuck? And I would drink this much water through the whole day.
Yeah.
But now my body was like, hell no.
Not taking that shit no more, bro.
Hell no. So now I was like, yo, like I started trying to ball with some of these young dudes, and I'm like, nigga, I'm sore for like 3 days.
That's a fact.
And then one time, like I had like a bullshit, like a scrape or a cut, and it like to me, like that shit would heal in 8 hours, and it didn't heal. And I'm like, yo, and they told me like, yo, like being diabetic, like a lot of shit doesn't. So like, oh shit, like health is a real thing. Like that's something to pay attention. So now I just like try to I monitor whatever. Like I definitely have the goal of like getting back down. I want to like so my goal is like 260, 250, but adding like muscle. So right now I'm like at 310, but like I've been single like I said 5-6 months. I moved to Queens. I'm like I'm living. I'm chilling. I'm like doing these shows.
Congrats,
Everybody
man.
want you to spend some money. Like so I mean I'm a fucking chicken wing connoisseur. I'm like I'm only doing a show here, and if your chicken wing is fucking the wing is good. The casa wing, that shit almost burned my mouth. I don't know when we going back to casa. That shit is crazy. Yeah. But all jokes aside, is honestly is more of a. It used to be about. It never been like a look thing for me because honestly, whether I was 200, 400, like
You always had that confidence.
I always been a cocky piece of shit. Like
So the bond that you have between you and your son, like, y'all like,
It's
I got
food.
a bond,
It's
bro.
food,
It's
yeah.
food. So so the confidence that you have within yourself, do you see that in him?
now now it's coming back. So
He's 14.
he's gonna be 14 this summer. So our tag with the Buffet Boys.
Buffet
Buffet
boys.
boys.
So before, so he always been the kid that like, yo, let me dance in front of the camera and do whatever. So I try to make him like rap, right? He came out with like 1 or 2 songs. We got like a lot of money, like, not like a lot of money, but he made like $300-400 from his first song on Apple, and I was on it. He's like, Dad, you killed me in my own song. Like, fuck that song. But he was like 7. But honestly, when I listen to it, like, or listen like the energy when I like play it, you hear I was so proud of like being on a song with my like this is my dream.
Oh, yeah, that's
I killed him.
You killed him. Even when I said I'll be competitive, man.
I went crazy.
Nigga said I rapped the whole 16.
I got the whole 16.
So he started doing like the photo shoots or whatever and all that. And he's like, yo, Dad, like he's like, yo, I'm not you. I don't want to live up to the name. I don't want to be like Fat Magic Jr. I don't want to do none of those things. And he's like, yo, and then he started telling, he's like, yo, look, like I'll go somewhere. He'd be like, yo, you see how they said what's up to you, whatever. And he was 6-7 years old this time. He said, I say what up to you. He's like, don't trust that dude.
Hey.
He's like, yo, because they just like they want something, whatever. And he's like, yo, sometimes he's like, yo, how do you know somebody everywhere you go? He said, how do people still recognize you? And I'm like, yo, my man, I keep trying to tell you that Magic was somebody. And I tell people all the time, like, so we talked about it earlier. It's more about like if I didn't get like my results fast, I would give up. Right. So when people are like, yo, how you did all this?
It's not that you wasn't good at it.
I think, yo, how you did all this? But then being good at 20 fucking different things. But like I literally sing, I rap, I do comedy, I DJ, I cut hair, I do all this shit.
So that'll be like a jack of all trades with a master of none.
But yeah, a master of one.
But yeah,
Yeah. So then I'm like, I always knew whatever I did, I was funny. Whether I was rapping, I would try to be funny. Whether I was doing something, yo, like just go back but my skill, honestly,
back
thinking
around,
about
like,
being comedy, I know how to like. My skill is being in a room with people and getting that attention, like gravitating that attention. I'm gonna leave here and hopefully I leave here and y'all niggas like, yo, that was a good episode. Bringing that positive energy, I know that was like my real skill. So for him, he's like, yo, I don't want to live up to that. He's like, I don't like my voice. I'm like, yo, I don't like my voice neither. It don't match my body, but like, you just got to keep going. All right. I'm like, so you want to DJ? Because he had that ear for music from like, our conversation now is like, yo, this album coming out Friday, whatever. And we'll go back and forth. Literally, we have car rides where, like I said, I still like shop and go to the mall, whatever. We'll just play instrumentals. I come from this era where like, we listen to mixtapes of instrumentals.
There you go.
Right? Yeah. I'm like, so we'll play a couple beats, right? And I'll quiz him. Like, I'm like, whose beat is that? He's like, damn, it sounds like a Swiss beat, but I don't know because that shit sounds like the same thing that Timbaland does. Right?
Yeah, he's studying
so
that.
So I'm like, do you want to be a DJ, a producer? He's like, I just want to enjoy music and then so at the time, right before COVID, he became like a sponsor gamer.
Really?
Right? But he never wanted to. If I was a sponsor gamer, I'm on the camera. Yo, this is me.
Facts.
He came up with a fucking, his gamer tag makes no sense to me to this day. Right?
What's the gamer tag?
It's like Zorfsy, whatever. So it's like ZORFSY, whatever.
Right.
He'll bust your ass in COD or Fortnite still.
Call of Duty, Fortnite.
But then they sent him like a PS5, and I'm like, oh, nigga, you nice for real. But then after that, he didn't like that attention either.
Really?
So at first, he's like, yo, I don't like the fact that like people still recognize you. He's like, yo, you haven't been on TV in 11 years. He'll tell me like, yo, you a hack, like you ain't shit.
You
Why people still recognize you from
Why you
TV?
hating, boy?
Right? But he's like, yo, there was time where people be like, yo, can I take a picture of you? Like, you look familiar. I don't know where I know you from, but I know you.
Yeah.
And there's people who's down, he's like, yo, Dad, I don't want to go anywhere. He's like, yo, I'm nervous, like, when we're on a train or whatever, because I feel like people will know you. And then you kind of, like, flashy, whatever, you wear a chain, and then you get media shit, like.
So he don't like the limelight at all.
Nah, so now, so and then COVID hit, and I feel like anxiety, like, he started to get, like, big really fast, and, like, it, like, fucked him up. And I noticed, like, I said, I work in education the last 13 years. So I started to notice that, like, I'm like, yo, he's not eating. And I've been a fat kid. I work with fat kids, and I've been a fat kid. I'm like, they teasing him. He don't really like it. Like, he doesn't have that, like, he's funny, but he don't want to be the. So then we was at a family barbecue one day, and it was, like, towards the end of the school year. So he's like, I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, nothing. I'm like, who's talking about you? He's like, yo, Dad, like, lately they've been, like, they'll hold the door to the staircase, and, like, they'll hold it, and then by the time I open it, I'm too, like, slow to chase them down. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, how do you feel? So he told me, like, I feel disrespected, whatever. And he's like, I don't want to, like, hit nobody, do whatever, because I'm, like, bigger than them. I know that. Right? I said, just do it to one. Just do it to one.
He said, you don't know.
Right? I don't know why I gave him that green light. It was a Sunday afternoon, because I dropped him off, like, on Sundays. That Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, by Thursday, he was suspended.
Yo.
Because he's been holding this shit in so long.
Yeah.
So literally, he's like, Dad, the next time somebody, he's like, before they even let go the door, the minute I saw him hold the door, he made, like, a little smirk. I hit him in the face.
Caught him.
Boom.
I mean, sometimes you got to deal with bullies like that. Nobody condoning violence and all that shit, but you know, sometimes that's just how they learn, man.
So now,
keep it a
like,
buck.
so then after like COVID, like he gained like mad, like see, my son weighs more than me right now. He's 13. But he's also 5'9", 5'10". Like, he doesn't look 13. But my son, like earlier, I'm like, yo, I'm getting ready. I'm about to do the podcast, whatever, right? He's like, and I'm going to PA with one of my cousins who grew up like my brother. I'm going to like PA for the weekend, so I'm like, he's like, yo, I'm packing or whatever, right? And then he's like, yo, I'm like, yo, you need to, like, I'm like, yo, we going to baby shower, whatever first. I'm like, yo, I need you to look like you my son, because, you know, I like to show off. He's like, yo, I'm like, yo, the jeans you had 2 weeks ago, like, put those on. He's like, yo, Dad, them shits have buttons. He's like, I can't sit. He's like, you know, fat niggas can't sit down with that. And he's like, right? And he's like, you know, I'm a big black body. So he always, like, his jokes are just as funny as mine. And then, like, even like now, like I always joke about like my legs, or whatever. Like the last show I did, I took it. I'm like, yo, like I'm built like a candy apple. He came up with that. Like I didn't think.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, he's from jump. He's always been like that. So now that he's like going into high school, whatever. So now he's becoming like not necessarily like mini me, but like now I'm like, yo, who's the funniest out of your crew? He's like, oh, that's me. But now he had that confidence. He's bigger than everybody else. He understands it. Like he's a little more like he likes. He's a hip hop head. I mean, I don't know what they listen to. I don't call hip hop, but
I mean, you know, yeah.
And I got to question you on that too, because you really think that Mace's first album is the greatest album of all time?
Yeah. Without no, like not even. I mean, there's honorable. Like I'm always gonna like. I love being a troll. There's always gonna be like honorable. Like I'm always gonna go with the unbiased, like or the unpopular opinion. For me, that was the album I listened to like my whole life. Of course you have like reasonable doubt and like you show that, but like Harlem. I almost got a fucking Harlem Road tattoo and I never been there.
Nah.
And I had Smashies one time on 103rd. I said I would get a Harlem tattoo for Mace and the sandwich. Fuck it. Yeah, no, Harlem. To me, Harlem World is still. He's still Mace 30 years later.
But why was that album so special to you? Like you said, like how you grew up on it.
I said I'm a music like fanatic. Music and sports is like I used to watch music videos before. I didn't grow up like the same as fucking like I like Barney and shit like that, but like I never watched like cartoons. I used to watch music videos. So like when I'm like an R&B encyclopedia, like when you talk about like old school music, like my like brain just operates different. So for me, that album that was like one of the first albums that had that like. It was somebody who had like the nasally voice like me. Okay. It was somebody who was like, he wasn't rapping about shooting somebody's mother. There was always girls, like, since I was 3-4, I always wanted girls around me.
Because you can relate to that. That's why.
Right? And I'm like, oh, he's rapping and dancing. They did just dancing. I've always loved dance to this day. Like, you see it when I come on my show, when I come on doing comedy, I start off by dancing to whatever I come out to. That's literally what I love to do. That's true. So, like, when he's dancing and they like all flashy, you know, kind of shit, like, so for me, but that album is 18, 19 songs. I could listen to, oh, shit. And it's such a great album that his second one was so bad. And that's the reason why like Lauryn Hill didn't drop another album because Lauryn Hill knew she couldn't do.
Yeah, what she
But
did
the fact that like
one.
Mace is even relevant
To this
30
day.
years later on one album? How is that not? Like, how is that even like a conversation? Of course, you have like I said, you talk about is he the best rapper on this shit? No.
Yeah.
He has like too many songs. Like Diddy's like as much as I love Diddy or he's wilding right now, but like he's like the worst rapper of all time. But it's like but when you come to like to me, as far as like hip hop goes, More Money, More Problems is the best hip hop song of all time.
I fuck with it.
But it's also because you put it on and people want to dance to it. So for me, it was always about like what makes people dance. And when you think about like R&B or like shit like in the 80s and 90s, it was about who could dance to what. Yeah. So for me, like you can dance to like Mace's album, whether it's like Feel So Good or whatever the fuck, whether it's just doing this shit.
Yeah, it puts you in that mood though. Yeah, it puts you in that mood.
I remember that.
But like so my favorite, I mean like I have like my top 5 hip hop rap like looks like nobody's top 5.
I want to hear.
No, because that was one of my.
I want to
hear too fast, bro. That was one of my questions right there, bro. Like the top. You know what? Fucking answer right now. What is your top 5?
I was gonna say that like L Cool J to me the GOAT, and then so because Mace rapped about the same things, and like literally L Cool J started hip hop.
Nah, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like L Cool J was like the.
All right, cool. Okay, so now so I can see the comparison what you're saying. So you telling me that you would pick Mace based on the shit you like over LL? Because LL was going crazy.
No, I'm talking about that album. But you talking about who's like? You want to see my top 5 right now?
No, I'm talking about. I'm just asking because the attention you want at girls is that third.
Yeah,
LO wasn't that lean on crazy, bro. And he can rap.
I was about to say he started that.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I'm just asking.
LL was light skinned, had muscles. Mace was a brown skinned, chubby face nigga.
Say less. I got you. I'm
with a squeaky like nasally voice.
I'm rolling.
When he pick up the phone and like hello, what's up? Like we hit the intros, I speak the same way. I literally mimic my voice over that.
Yeah,
like literally that album is like my life.
I got you. Heard you. Right,
but yeah, so
that's so you say LO that Mace.
So just
top 5. Oh, no order.
Not saying greatest of all. Like I could kind of like if I'm speaking like greatest of all time.
Well, that was your top 5. Just yours.
But my favorite top 5 is LL, Mace, Andre 3000, T.I. because of Atlanta shit, and Nelly.
Yeah, a lot of South people. A lot of people.
So
I mean,
got a heavy influence.
Yeah, a lot of the South.
So like I said, to me, LL was the greatest rapper of all time, and then Mace, like I said, it was just more of like the voice and like relatable and like dance and whatever. Andre 3000 is because like nobody from the South has ever been that lyrical, and if you ask anybody from Atlanta who's the greatest rapper of all time, it was that. And then T.I. because that's when like I literally had to go hard for like the reason like, you're not even from Atlanta, why you go so hard? But like I had every brave hand you could think of, like. But T.I. came out with like. That's when like trap started, whatever. So it was kind of like there was still kind of it was like style that was relatable.
Facts.
And then it was like I'm talking about like I have the attention span like I can't listen to like a 20-song album. I can't listen to a 4-minute song.
Yeah. Not nowadays.
Give me a chorus and a verse and I'm good. T.I. came on like, and outside of like Rubber Band Man and shit like that, but like he came on like he's great for a verse, and that's all I needed. And then. So that's that, and then when I come like when I say Nelly, people like you bugging.
That's what I said.
Nelly got some hits though.
No, Nelly got hits, but Nelly's not wasn't. I mean, it's compared to the other 4. Nelly's like the real outcast for the 4.
But when you think about like when you think about like who had more number ones, Nelly's on the top of that list.
No, Nelly for sure was.
Right, but why you chose him as 5 though? Personally, I don't want to know about your. I don't want to know about your personal statistics of Nelly, but like you personally, why did you choose? I understand the other 4 because Andre 3000, like literally, he's like the best lyricist like I've ever heard. T.I., he changed the game when the trap came around. He made Young Jeezy look like Young Jeezy. Yeah. Like, nigga, you stay the snowman, I'll melt you, whatever. and Nelly, I'm like, but why? Like, so, I understand he's a great artist overall, but like.
So for me, it was always about like the attention and like the performance aspect of it. So when Nelly get on stage, like the bitches go crazy. Or Nelly legit had me wearing a Band-Aid, bro. Like
and a headband.
So like people who kind of like influence our culture, and as much as we want to be New York, whatever. If anybody said that Nelly didn't bring back Air Force Ones,
I was about to say that. Drop a ball for that because I was definitely about
He's
to
the
say
reason why the price went up.
Air Force, he definitely pushed
the reason why the price went from $75 to $150. He's the main reason,
like,
bro.
Somebody he barely touched like New York. He had. So to me, Nelly for me was about like the influence. right? And if whether you was fucking watching on Saturday nights, you had two options. You had speaking Spanish or fucking Dominican USA on MNN, or you had Tip Drill. So I was out here watching Tip Drill.
Shit, nigga. Tip Drill's
So
my
the
shit.
fact that like, if you look at everybody I said, right, like even except like Andre 3000, right, T.I. kind of changed like the South, right, and it was like the first time where like I wasn't the only nigga in the world repping that Atlanta. I started to see other A hats or whatever, right?
The
If
way
you
he
like,
wears it too to the side. I wear
right, I used to wear that shit all the way over here.
To the side.
So like he changed, like he brought the South out, and it was kind of like, yo, like the research I used to like research on like. If you ask me where I want to live, it's Atlanta. I'm legit. You would think I'm from there. Like I got an appointment next week to get that Atlanta tattoo. Like you would think I'm really from there. Like because I love sports so much. That's literally like the braids are everything to me. But I connect the braids to my father, my grandfather.
Everything
so
has
deeper
little
connection.
literature to
But
it.
so see, actually, game. But as far as like Nelly goes, like Nelly would rap about. And if you look at Nelly, there's nothing good about the shit. But somebody was shaking their ass to it.
Son, I know what Tip Drill is, right?
They
You seen
had
that
a
video?
movement. They had a movement though.
I seen Tip Drill video?
No.
You never seen the Tip Drill
Nah,
video?
if you never watched the Tip Drill video,
Oh man, that was the first video I seen mad ass, my nigga, at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the only time you can see it.
yeah.
Oh, I mean,
That was BT Uncut.
Hell yeah.
you saw the Nelly shit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, no, yeah. I got you.
But it's deep.
I
To
know the
me,
name of
like
it, but I see what you-
everybody I named on that 5, I can name a song right now that was either like not life changing or like game changing, right? Or
yeah, I can see that.
because people come out with like fire songs now, but you can't like you could play like I don't like Hot in Here. That shit's a stupid ass song.
Yeah,
but you play Hot in Here, everybody knows that fucking
But
song.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. The country song he made with this guy, I forgot his name, but
Tim McGraw, come on.
Tim McGraw, yeah.
I
Wait,
fuck with Nelly for real.
when he made that song, I felt it.
Right? He was singing R&B like he was trying to.
And he wasn't saying anything that you could be like, yo, wow, oh my God, Nelly. He wasn't saying none of that.
It's true,
It's
some
Tim
people don't have
McGraw,
to.
my nigga. Tim McGraw, when he plays and he sings, my nigga, you want to listen. You'll be like, yo, this nigga's nice. But then Nelly threw in that little R&B hip hop mix to it. It's all in my head. I just want to call it over. I was like, yo, this is fire, son.
And that's what I'm saying. So like, if you like everybody I name, whether it's like Mace, whether it's like Feel So Good, whether it's right? Those songs will go on for another 50 years. They already been around
to this day,
right? Nelly,
to this day,
nigga, what girl don't know fucking Dilemma? Like,
yeah, word.
so like them having.
But you think about it though, I was like 33 years old, my nigga, and I'm 35, bro. That I noticed that Nelly was really talking about her breaking up with her man. Like, yo, break up with your man. Fuck that nigga. No, serious. Yeah, bro. Like, he was telling her, like, yo, why you wasting your time with him? Like, nah, come with me.
Let me help you carry these boxes inside the crib.
Yo,
Yeah.
let me bring some groceries
Like
to my
everybody I
cousin's
named,
crib.
honestly, has like legendary. Like I'm visual, so everybody I named has legendary like music videos.
And look at Andre 3000.
That's true.
What would you say? Like the hit song? So fresh and so clean.
Oh, come on, but that's Outkast.
Not even that. Somebody,
That's
like literally.
Outkast.
So it's Black History Month, right? Somebody at work, right? They're like, yo, like we need a quote to put on the wall. So like, what was Black History mean to you? I said, if it wasn't for Rosa Parks, I would have never got Back of the Butt. Like I would have never got the Outkast song. So thank you for Rosa Parks for giving me the Outkast. But truth is,
You ain't lying,
that
bro.
song is like that song.
You ain't
is
lying.
true.
You ain't
To
lying
me,
though.
Outkast is the greatest like rap duo.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like
I
Wu Tang and
fuck
shit. I'm
with
talking about like duo. That's the
number
greatest.
Duo,
twos.
for
Number
sure.
twos, definitely.
But like so everybody name, but then of course like so now when you talk about like who's the greatest like lyricists or rappers, like that's different. Like, that list goes to like
It's different categories
Jada
for
and all
sure.
that, whatever. But you talking about like my top 5, like my bitch ass top 5.
Yeah,
Like,
but nah,
like when I want to go
changing,
from like
yeah, it's like-
singing to like hip hop,
Yeah.
but the hip hop still sound like singing.
That's
I'm
not-
cool.
That's an interesting
So
top five.
so now I know you so that's cool though. So now I know you mentioned that you work in education now, right?
Yeah.
For how long? 13 years. Like, what do you do for education?
So I've always like moved different. So right now, like I play the role of a dean, but I do like a lot of my focus. I work in Best Side Brooklyn, so a lot of my focus is like attendance. And unfortunately, you know, we in these communities where like I tell people all the time, and even that's how I grew up, where people are like, oh, like you know, like they should be coming to school because like education is important. When you got shit to deal with like PATH, HRA, food stamps, you got another baby, education is not priority, and people could never grasp that shit. I'm like, yo, and I tell people, I be asking people like, yo, like, what do your fridge look like when you was a kid? Not even trying to be fat, but it's like, yo, there were days where like I had to wait for the coupones to come in order to have some shit in my crib.
word.
So like when I tell people like, so I try to like just show them like, so right now I play the role of attendance At days that's great. It's some, like, but I'm on the phone with these parents like, yo, like if you gotta run and do these errands, or you gotta run to the PAP office, or you're in temporary housing, and bring your kid to school. Let us take care of him, whether it's
Why you doing
mentally, whatever. Some days where like we gotta pull kids out and kind of just nurture them and show them love. So right now, I provide like family resources. I do like resume writing, right? I do all these kind of things, and I look the way I look. Like obviously, I'm not wearing like a chain and shit at work, but like I literally want to show these kids that you could look like me and be like different. And then people are like, oh, you know, right now I work in elementary, and like they're like, oh, they're kind of young, they'll get it. And I'm like, yo, like I had my rap group, whatever. My rap group when I was like in elementary, I'm the only one alive. And then I mean, right? And I'm like, yo, it starts at this age. And I saw those habits at that time. And then my other man who was like kind of like down with us, but not really, like he did crazy time. Like, and he's known now because it's like his cousin is Nems, and they on tour too. So shout out to my man Mello, shout out to Nems, right?
Fuck with
but
Nems,
honestly, the only people that are alive left in my crew in elementary is me and Mello. But Mello, if you listen, like he got a story, his story's out with like Pistol P and all that from Terror Squad. Like if you listen to like Mello's, like my man Mello, like did crazy time. Like so I'm the only one that's like out here, like because I had all these like outlets. But I'm like, yo, so it starts at this age. So
yeah,
I said I provide, whether it's like, yo, food pantry, whether like I had an event today where it was like a 10, like for the first 100 days of school. Like I mean, I wanted to show love to the kids and the parents. We had like a brunch, right? And this shit like so like honest. And then I just do a comedy show where I'm like, leave the kids at home because I'm gonna bring y'all. I'm asking for. I already literally hit up whether it's For the Money Nemo. I hit up all my comedy like the circle, and I'm like, yo, I need y'all to put on a show for because some of these parents don't live. I work like my school is in the middle of Marcy and Tompkins, right? So when Jay-Z said I'm from Marcy, 79 Heights, my son was not lying, right? There's still like things that need to be like dealt with there. But I want to bring opportunity to these parents, whether that's a paint and sip, whatever. I'm like, yo, sometimes you got to go out like y'all struggling as like husband and wife or like boyfriend, girlfriend, or baby daddy, baby mama, like at a young age. Like, yo, like sometimes y'all just got to like get back to like it's about y'all like benefits. So I want to provide a comedy show, but right now I do like, you know, like family resources, whether it's like I said, I did like the resume writing or whether, you know, where I send them to, you know, I give them an unlimited Metro card from literally providing like the resources to better the home. Because as much as we're like, yo, let's focus on the kid, they're 7, 8, 9, 10. We got to focus on what issues, because we have kids who...
You focus on what's home.
We got kids who deal with issues that they don't deserve to deal with.
Yeah.
So how do we better the home to better the kid? And honestly, so as much as I love like comedy or whatever, and like I said, people say like, how do you must love kids? No, I don't. I do not, right? But I love, like, I know for a fact, I know what my calling is sometimes, and like there's definitely different paths I want to take, especially now that like comedy honestly is like picking up and it's heating up,
your
right?
outlet,
And I'm like, I'm starting to see like different things like for me, but I'm always gonna want to like tap in and dip into like these kids' mind and do whatever, because like, and I want to show them. So I showed them, and I'm like, you know, like I don't lie to this. I have a barber chair in my office, like, right? And people are like, yo, like you do a lot of dope shit. Like to me, it's like, but I have a barber chair in my office. That's how I do cut hair, right? And they ask me like, so they go, how do you know how to cut hair?
So you cut your kids' hairs and all that?
Yeah.
Nice.
So like,
I like that. That's fire.
Do you show them how to cut hair?
So we had like 2 kids who wanted to like learn, but right now they're just like, yo, like, oh shit, I could come to school and like get, and then like, they literally sit there like,
that's fire.
if you know like the feeling of a barbershop, they have like it's regular. Like I put the music on, we have like these conversations. And, like, yo, how do you know how to cut hair? I could tell you a story. Like I could try to be a teacher and be like, oh yeah, it was something I like to do, and I tell them the truth. I'm from the hood. My brother, like I said, my mom raised whatever. My older cousin, he was a little older. My mom necessarily didn't raise him, right? I said he was the barber in the hood, right? He got locked. He told my brother, hold the clippers. I've always been obsessed with like, I always wanted to be good at something. I always wanted to like, I had to look. If I don't get a shaper for 2 weeks, I'm like a 2. Right now, I feel like I'm a 7 on camera. I'm a 7 on camera, but I'm like a 2 without a shape. I'm a fat nigga with like, real like a shape up could make like a haircut with your nails. That shit could change how you feel inside. You watch a girl go to the salon, she gonna walk out the salon a little different.
That's a fact.
And the thing, so, but I told him, I'm like, yo, like, you know what I mean? And then 3 cuts in your eyebrows trying to wild out. My mom wasn't letting me go to the barbershop get the cuts, right? Or I would try to go to the barbershop and they're like, yo, like, I used to go to my cousin, so who am I really going to?
Yeah.
So he left the clippers. So one day I picked up the clippers and it took a couple Zeeks. Like I Zeke myself, right? Like my line was always like sharp. That, bro, like. My line was always sharp, but it wasn't where it's supposed to be. So I tell them all the time. So I'm like, yo, because they can relate. They have an uncle, they have a cousin, they have a brother who went to. It's sad truth. Yeah, they know what that's like. Yeah. So I say, yo, like, and I tell them, and then after I tell them the story, and I'm like, yo, you know what's crazy? I never go broke because I have all these skills. But this is the one skill where I would never go broke because I could literally post on Craigslist or Facebook Market and be like, yo, like, I just moved to Queens. You know what I mean? Like, I could go and cut all these Guyanese kids at home, and then I could show them, like, oh, like, I work at so now the trust is there. I have a Department of Education ID and a plaque and a whole, and like, I work with kids. I could show you pictures. Like, I could show you my office with a chair. So now I could go and be like, yo, I've done it in Queens where I'm like, you know what? I need to make a little extra money. I'll put a post up. And they be like, oh, you're like, yo, I'll literally come. Like, everything is wireless now.
Yeah, quick, yeah.
So, I mean, but I teach them, I try to show them all these things, like having all those skills. And it starts from now. Like,
It starts from now.
so we be like, oh, like, you do so great things. I do great things because, like, I wish I had somebody like me in, like, my school, right? And we don't, like, so I try to be like that person. And like I said, there's days where, like, I one day, like, I went out and I went right to work. Like, I took a nap in my car. And I literally slept in my bed in jeans. I put my sneakers back on. They're like, yo, like, you got Yeezys? And I'm like, but to them, it's like,
it was whoa, it's everything, yeah.
But then it was like, oh, shit. But it was like, oh, shit. But at the same time, it was kind of like,
They kind of like looking up to you.
they looking like, oh, shit, he look like us. He just like us.
Inspirational and all that shit too.
Yeah,
Be like, yo,
look
I
like
come
us.
from where y'all come from too, man.
Yeah,
like,
he look like us. He look like us. He dressed like us. He got tattoos
and,
or whatever.
and like that's so true too. Because even when I was in school, like the nigga that I had like
I remember. Kennedy.
yeah, like I even
remember.
had like a dean too. Like yo, but he come from the hood and everything. He's just like us. You feel me? So
You
we could
can't
relate
have,
more.
like, yeah, you
Instead of
can't have,
having
like-
niggas from like the south, like you know, but he just moved up here. Like now he got him a job.
Yeah, like
Hey, yo,
before I came back to the school, like I worked at a high school. We had like a college tour. One kid came off smelling like crazy bud, and people think that like I don't like since I don't smoke. I'm like again like I have my like reasons.
Yeah.
If honestly, if smoking what it was today, I probably would have smoked. But back then it was like I didn't like understanding it was wrong, but I also didn't understand that. I'm like. I'd rather take the broke. Honestly, I'd rather take the broken chicks upstairs and like, and we look out the window like, look at these niggas here.
Yeah, word.
And then I come on, they're like, yo, man, how you? Nigga, she
good.
don't want to stay out. It's 7 degrees outside. Nigga, I don't give a fuck what snorkel you got on.
Yo, facts.
Right? But like I said, I try to like just show them all that. I try to do all those like different things. But like with this one kid here, like he smelled like crazy bud. Was like on college tours, whatever. I'm like, yo, like you understand as black and brown men or people, we're already at a loss. We're already judged off. I get judged on like, so when you talk about like why I like work so hard to do certain things, I'm a fat kid where I always gotta prove myself. Like I said, like I always gotta like try to be better. Some days I wanna fucking be. I wanna go to these shows and I wanna be number one, but I can't. I gotta like always show and prove. If I go on a job interview, I look lazy until I show you I'm not lazy. Right? So I said, if you come off as a black and brown kid, you're from New York, not Syracuse. We were at Syracuse, so not Syracuse, not Albany. You're from New York, and you coming on and there's a do-rag hanging out your pocket. First of all, nigga, it's not even 2003. We don't do that anymore, right? So he came off smelling like crazy bud, right? And I'm like, yo, you already had. So like, I'm like, you understand how like people gonna? I said, yo, because of you, there's kids on this bus that deserve this opportunity, that deserve scholarships. You fucking it up for everybody because you came off smelling like a right. And he's like, and I'm like, yo, honestly, for you too. You could probably come in this shit and be like, yo, it was a culinary school. So you could probably walk in these kitchens and be like, yo, like,
word.
Well, I don't gotta read books. I could just cook and make.
And you never know,
right? Yeah. So then I'm like, and then so he took out the butt out of his pocket, and I'm like, yo, and he had it like in a little like Ziploc bag. I'm like, it was like 2017. I'm like, nigga, what year you in?
That's crazy.
I'm like, there's all kind of shit to conceal this smell.
That's
right?
We done went through all phases, bro. Like,
and then the dean that they all with, whatever, right? I said, you know what's crazy? I said, I know. I said, yo, like, I know. I said, I'm from the hood. I know what drugs smell like. I said, the dean, the college advisor, I said, that nigga coked up. I smell the coke on him every day. Every day. But because he's some white dude with blonde hair, he put your shit back. He looked like a hippie, right? He's not getting judged out here. You could probably, right? And I said, and I was on it. I'm like, yo, like, so y'all here smelling like this or you smelling like that? I'm like, yo, like, so he's like, damn, like, I didn't think about it like that, right? So I said, like, you know me, I always got collected cologne with me, right? So I'm like, yo, like, spray this or do whatever. I'm like, yo, leave that shit on the bus.
Yeah.
I said, nobody's gonna, I'll say, yo, the only adults here, whatever. And I'm like, yo, like, it's not even about, like, my job. Like, this kid's, like, 17, 18, right? I'm like, yo, it's about, like, it's me and this other adult, right? I'm getting off this bus. If we all smell like bud, they gonna think, oh, like, this
is also representative
this,
of
whatever.
you.
Yeah, like.
But look what you said, though. Like, we already lost, bro. We black and brown boys, we lost already. By they looking at us, we lost. So for us to prove that even more.
Yeah.
Even worse.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Even
And
worse.
I said, yo, we're gonna get blamed regardless.
Yeah.
Right? I said, it's gonna make me look bad, right? I said, we're gonna walk in these college tours. They're gonna think I'm somebody's parent. They're not gonna think I'm an educator or whatever. And at the time, I was just like a community associate, which is kind of like a helping hand, right? So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get blamed for like the shit you smell like or do whatever. But this white dude who I know for a fact, right? And I said, yo, and this is like personal shit. I'm like, yo, you gonna? And we had to like, they had to go back to the hotel. It was like an overnight trip, right? I had like my Xbox here with me. I see I'm a grown man, so y'all niggas are definitely not coming in here with me, trying to come to my hotel room and play Xbox. So I brought it so that we could go to the lobby, they let us rock, we do that. Right? So I'm a grown man. As much as I'm cool with y'all never gonna
get in my space.
I'm not playing no games with y'all. Like that's something I definitely don't fuck with. Right? And so, but I said, yo, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We gathered up. We was like in a restaurant. I gathered up. I said, yo, this is the plan. This is what y'all want to do. I said, you see that nigga over there? Like their college advisor? I said, he gonna be coked up by 9:30. My son was fiended out in the hallway.
Finished.
Right? I said, now I got the curfew's 10. I'm gonna go to my room and do my job at 10 o'clock. Y'all watch that nigga operate how y'all want to operate. There was no control.
Finished. Yeah.
8 months later, we would celebrate a baby shower at school. Money from that trip.
Whoa.
Right? And I think that the kid went to like the Army, the Navy. I think they still like together at this time. The kid is like 6, 7 years old. But
well, God bless if there is.
You know what I mean? But the fact is, I'm like, yo, because I'm like, yo, don't take them shit. Like, don't take that off. Like, cause like you're not smoking. Like, you can't smoke on these tours or camp, right? You're holding that, but like, you think somebody gonna take it on this bus, or you think I'm gonna smell it and take it? I'm not taking that.
People don't know, like, man, and I know they young, so they really not in that mind state, but they just don't know the opportunities that they could possibly get, bro. Like,
because it look cool, though.
Because it look cool, man, and
because everybody on that bus wanted to smoke. They knew where to get it from.
They're from exactly.
So he's like, yo, it's like, so it was like possession for him. But I'm like, yo, like, nobody's taking that shit. And I'm like, you didn't even conceal it correctly. Like,
yeah, you didn't even play your part right, man. Like
4 hours, I shouldn't be.
And it's still, like, it's still 2017 too. That shit wasn't even talked about being legal or anything. Like how it is now.
Yeah. But honestly, it's cool that you do that thing with the chair and all that shit, because it has somebody that they could actually go to if they have an issue or something, like a big brother.
You gotta like. Honestly, I left that school or whatever because I had issues, because he's like, yo, he talks to y'all like he's your uncle, your big brother. But right? I'm like, I never been an authority figure, but I'm gonna teach this black or brown kid how to like move or conduct himself, right? Man. And then the way I would connect with them, like I said, I've always been funny, no matter what profession, whatever I'm doing, right? And so I'd be like, yo, put that away, right? And we having a serious conversation where the kid is like almost in tears, and it's just me and him. We getting off the bus, and I say, and you smoke garbage. And he's like, nah, this is not garbage. So now we talking for another 10 minutes, but the energy is different, right? But he's like, nah, watch. He's like, nah, I just had to take this with me. But he's like, the shit I got back, when I get home, you gonna see. Right? I'm like, I don't bring that shit in my building. But like, so now it was like, yo, so now when I saw him in the morning, right, he'll look at me, he's like, he'll come home one day, he'll be like, yo, my bad. Like, I had like, right? So I like speak to him, I'm like, yo, like, you need but that kid ended up graduating, whatever. He wasn't graduating if he didn't meet me. Like, that's keeping 100. Like, he wasn't like going through that shit. Like, he didn't meet me.
Yeah, no, I recognize that though.
Because he used to come like high to school. He used to come at 10:30, 11. But they all love cooking. But then when you want to eat, right? So then I'm like, yo, like, get a step. I'm like, yo, like, if you can show that you're here on time, you get that extra period, you do whatever. So they started coming early. They started cooking and doing whatever. You know what I mean? But that kid wasn't like, they used to cut school all the time because they couldn't like show that they were high. They couldn't whatever. Like, I can't control that. Like, well, I'm gonna put the blunt on your mouth. I can't do that. You can't smoke in my building. You're not smoking in front of me. You're not showing me no fucking, I'm not taking none of that. Yeah. But I knew that if you like, yo, did you, all right, I see what you ate, you good? Yeah. With your store, like, yeah, but you can't eat in class, whatever. So now I come to my office and eat and like wake the fuck up and give what you got, like, do what you got to do. So when they like started to see like, oh, he fuck with us, and I never talked to them like on some like, hey, you would. I told them like how you gonna understand?
Like we ain't faking it, bro. Yeah. That's how people gonna talk to you in the street, bro. And who else you gonna relate to? But anything that, right? Like if I talk different, you might not relate to me. You know what I'm saying?
And like I said, sometimes like you have to like crack their like character to really like get in tune with them, because like those times where like they'll be like, yo, they anytime like a kid in high school whatever is like late, it's because they trying to pick up a girl from class, walk in class. I'm like, yo,
they do some fuckery shit, man. Like,
I'm like, yo, I would go up to the girl. I'm like, yo, like he like you don't deserve it. He ugly. And they're like, nah, watch, right? But then it was that relationship, and like they hated the fact that I had that relationship with them. But yo, in that school, I knew about the pregnancy scares, the STD.
And look, that's what I'm saying. Look, the people just go to you right there just because they
and they used to think I'm like, they be like, nah, you smoke, you do whatever, and they be like, nah. I'm like, I didn't do like none of that, right? And then it came to a point they were like, yo, but like, how you be out, you do whatever. Like, there was time where I pull up, I'm like, yo, I'm tired, bro. Like, I go home at 5, 6 in the morning, like from from brunching on Sunday and brunch turned into whatever.
Yeah,
Or on a Wednesday, they be like, yeah, you went to Taco Tuesday, you was wilding.
Yeah, bro,
right?
and I'm here.
But they would understand it, like, but yo, I'm tired, yo, leave me alone.
But they know you're a regular dude, though. That's.
But at that time, like I said, I was 28, 29. That's when I really like first started drinking. But I would never like. But I was telling one time, I'm like, yo, look, like even that, like yo, I was chilling, I was doing whatever. But I'm like here, handling responsibilities, making sure that y'all like stupid niggas ain't really doing anything.
yeah,
but like, and that's really what it's about. So for me,
even if I have fun, we can have fun, but still handle your business.
Handle your business.
Still stand on business.
Me, like handle your business.
That's what
even
it's
now,
about.
I'm like yo, like I tell like I have like they be in the group chats, whatever. I'm like yo, like Nemo, everybody they be like yo, they go to these shows and then they want to, oh, what's the next spot? Like I'm 36, I gotta wake up.
Right, talk about some athletes.
Y'all Bronx niggas. I'm like yo, I'm not gonna be with y'all Bronx niggas in front of Kennedy Fry. I'm going home.
My nigga said, yo, I'm 36.
Y'all want to go get cheese fries and y'all in there for another 45 minutes.
Talking about
Yo, why you in a rush? What do you mean?
Oh my God.
Well, I gotta clock in.
That's a fact, man.
We didn't make it yet. We didn't make it to the point to where
Yeah.
this is feeding us completely. We making, like I said,
And y'all will. Listen, I'll be honest, and y'all will, bro.
Sure
because
will,
the like we was telling her before, man, y'all have like a whole collective group, man, that is fire because y'all all rolling together, man. And something like that, bro, is the dopest fucking thing, bro.
And that's why, like, it's crazy, like, when you don't meet, like, genuine people, like, every day.
That's
so
a
when
fact.
like I said, when I met her, I'm like, oh, like, and then she's like, yo, like, you sitting on fire, you playing. And then you meet, like, niggas like 40, but, like, and it's crazy because, like, I tell them all the time, whether it was, like, during COVID or whatever, like, on Tuesday, like, I had Valentine's Day. Like, Nova York came to that Casa show first, and he's like, yo, how you not signed? And I'm like, it's crazy because everything's a number game. I know when it comes to stand-up performance, I'm up there. I'm not going to, like, sit here and act like I ain't shit. Like, I know I know I'm on fire right now, but at the same time, it's kind of like, what are y'all doing that I'm not doing different? Like, help me build that content, right? And it's people, like, just being genuine. So when Nova York saw me, he was like, yo, like, how you not signed? And then when I hit him up for Valentine's Day, right, it was kind of like, he's like, yo, like, come through. You got a +1 to do whatever. I'm like, nah, I ain't got no bitch today, so I'm by myself. Right? But I pull up, and he's like, 5 minutes. And I'm like, I was waiting for a chair. So I'm like, all right, I'm standing, I'm good. He's like, nah, you got 5 minutes on the mic. I had to, like, it wasn't about, like, yo,
It's like
I got
improv right
now.
there, bro.
I wasn't trying to be like, oh, I got it. It was more about, like, there's somebody who really fucks with me and believes in me, right? So let me get on there. So then Wednesday, so if you saw the pictures or whatever, I had like 5 minutes. I told you I always go over. But I killed that. And then it was kind of just like, he was looking around at, like, what the management or whoever he deal with, kind of like, I keep telling you about this kid. Like,
nice.
And that's what it was about. But, like, everybody show, like, they all show up. And, like, I definitely got to be better at, like, showing up to, like, their shows. But, like, I'm in Queens, so you mean to tell I gotta pay a toll every time y'all want to be
No, it's expensive.
Right? Bro. I'm like, yo, that shit, I'm like, and then, you know, Easy Pass, they don't like, it's not like fucking a debit charge. They'll wait until you cross 7 tunnels.
Then they'll charge you
and charge you $37.47.
Nah, you ain't lying, bro.
Plus the late fee.
Yeah.
Plus the late fee.
Only if y'all know how much I offer.
No,
But the fact that, like, they support each other. Like,
yeah,
but
that's love, though, man. Like, y'all should really just cherish that, man.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, cherish that, man. Like,
y'all gonna go a long way.
Y'all gonna go a
sure.
long way, man. So listen, right? So, put you on the spot right now, man. If you could say a few words to inspire someone, child or adult, what would it be?
Honestly, if I could say a few words, man, like, timing is everything. Don't give up. Like I said, everything I spoke about today, you see, like, the dry people, like, yo, how you're a kid with 2,000 followers and how you have all these accolades and, like I said, and I'm like, yo, honestly, like, I don't ever question timing. Like, I still believe in a higher power. So just understand that, like, timing is everything. And, like, I know we deal with a lot, but, like, take one day. People say take one day at a time. Sometimes you got to take an hour at a time. Whether you take an hour at a time, take a day at a time, take a minute at a time. Just make sure that every day is more productive than the last. And that production can be taking a day off, believe it or not. So just understand that, like, knowing that, like, what your timing is, knowing what your purpose is, and if you have one goal, set 100 goals to get to that one goal. The same way we set up jokes, you set up a song, set up those punches to get to that main punch. And when you write in jokes, like, I write my jokes where I have my punchline and then I build up to that punchline. The same thing. Have that main goal and then build up to that goal. And like I said, understand that, like, what your purpose is, and if you don't know it right now, take your time to find it. Like, but knowing that timing is everything. Like I said, I told you right here, I had my first commercial at 6, and now I'm 36.
God
I
damn,
revived in my
shit.
career, so it's been like 30 years.
That shit.
But now I'm more prepared than ever. So Invest in yourself. Be prepared. Know that it's a grind, and no matter what you do, but overall, take it day at a time. But just make sure that every day, every minute is. I'm somebody like I wish I watched more TV, but I'm just always my mind is always on being like trying to be productive. You know what I mean? For me, being here, the last thing I want to say is that I came out, like I said, we have a dope team, but yeah, I have a dope team. It's like, well, like the energy in that room that night was just like electric. And I came here was like, yo, just be open, just be fun, just have a good time. But like, make sure you leave with like moments. And whether it was my man making my bed the Aki way or whatever. And I got some things to say about the Aki way too. And me and For the Money gonna be shooting a Go Talk Food Fat Boy edition soon.
Oh shit.
But overall, like I said, so I'm gonna just end it with saying, be productive, know your purpose, set small goals to reach big goals, and get it done.
You just motivated me, bro. Shit.
Drop a bomb for that too. You want to plug in anything you want to plug in? Plug it in. Like that was fucking fire.
We have, like I said, I have my show in the LES at Karma next Friday the 23rd. Say next week sometime while I have these days off in education, I'm gonna like be shooting some like content. We have a show at Cakes coming up. That show that Nemo put together.
Oh, we definitely end there, by the way.
That's crazy.
We popping up. We definitely popping up.
As much as I want to snack in there, I probably will be fucked up before. But it might be the day I do try edible, even though I tell people
No.
Food always made me high. Food always made me high. So when I say I never tried smoking, I definitely had like Fruity Pebbles. And, like,
okay, got you.
It really. There was one time where I took one by accident. I was gonna say. So I didn't. Some girl was like, "Yo, like here, have a cookie." And then after I had the cookie, I'm like, "I don't know what this is." But when you chilling with some pretty girl, she like feeding you and shit. I'm like, literally the whole. It was at brunch. That bitch gave me like 2.5 cookies and it hit me. So I'm like, I'm good. Yo, I got home and made a fucking like. I took Italian bread out the white paper, made a sandwich, and fell asleep. I woke up the next morning, the whole sandwich, and there's pictures of my family. I woke up with a whole fucking 2-foot sandwich on my stomach. Yeah, from that shit. But like I said, so I tried like those shit, but like,
Casey definitely ended it for sure.
That night I would fucking forget my jokes. But like, so that's Sunday, March 10th. And honestly, I just came back 3-4 months, but it's like I'm getting calls and texts every day about yo pull up to these shows. So if you have any shows coming up, whatever, I am. Yeah, this. I mean, like I said, I'm not focused on. I love when somebody's like, yo, I got this for you. I mean, who doesn't love money? But I'm out here like grinding.
Love opportunities.
I'm honestly, I'm in a place where my career is like revived and like I love the opportunity I gave me to like tell me these stories and tell me like the whole like now I gotta go reflect. I probably go watch YouTube videos and like damn, like, how you was in it? How you got like I'm telling you, I got features with French, Max, Loaded, Murder, like I got all these like things that it's like I just never wanted to be that. So now that like I know, and I'm a Ciroc boy, so like now that I had like those like connects, you mean? I'm like, all right, yo, I'm funny now, like and everybody know I was funny, but like taking it in a professional way. Like so stand up for me, I love doing it, I love performing, but I'm always thinking business wise. I want to have like my own production company. I want to have that. And I would love to take like the education I do have and work education and possibly be a screenwriter one day because writing is where the money. I'm always thinking about where the money. Like my dream life is to still be able to go to like the corner store with flip flop, but knowing that like my bank account is like it's so different. Like I just want to be like
manifesting that.
And I said I'm raising a young man who is 13 going to be 14. But I tell him every day like I don't know how to be a father. Like I know how to be a guidance and like I'm raising my business partner. Like what am I gonna like? Well, I'm gonna raise you to like do for yourself. No, we're gonna do for each other. So
there you go.
I mean, and that's a young man who like when I put my head down, he picked my chin up. Like he'd take food off my shirt if I drop food. Like so I would like in that. So that's the one thing I want people to understand. That like family is like everything. Like you heard my phone probably earlier. I'm sure that was him making sure that shit ran smooth. He's like, yo. Like he had a conversation with me earlier trying to be funny. You know what I mean? Like he's like, yo, like make sure you do that. But like, it's just the motivation and the piece that he gave me.
He's there for
but
you.
understand that like so if that's another motivational piece, like as much as I could come off as like, oh I'm nice, I'm doing whatever, like I'm very like I'm very family oriented, I'm the youngest of 5, like I'm excited to see some family tomorrow. Like I'm gonna run out of here. My son's the first person I call.
There
right?
you go.
And whether it's like, damn, I fuck up, what is this? I'm like, right? And I'm like, yo, and I'm gonna have to tell him, but yo, like, remember the time I told you grandma kicked me out?
You gonna tell him.
Right? So I'm like, he's like, yo, he'll tell me that's good, whatever. And even now, like, so I moved to Queens. I'm not stunning. Like, I mean, I got a little spot, a little studio apartment. The first time I call, like, he understands that, like, how we heal, how we feel better is jokes. I FaceTime him. I'm like, yo, like, look at our spot in the little studio. And he called his mom. He said, yo, look, your baby father going through it. He live in a tree house. Right? And it's the same thing. And like, so some of like my intros, like, he's like, damn, you should have, like, he watched videos. He's like, damn, you should. But even him, he doesn't live with me, but we're together so much, or we speak every day, where he's kind of like,
he knows you.
Like, damn, like, he's like, Dad, I didn't even know. Like, his mom was at my last show. People like, yo, how that's, his mom and her husband was at my last show. And she's like, yo, I didn't know. He's like, yo, I didn't know you was like that. Like, you always been a funny dude. I didn't know you had, like, you practice this shit. And I'm like, yo, like, this is a craft. Like, this is what I love to do.
This is something
and
new,
I never been more mentally prepared than I am today. Whether it's like, I have like financially, you have to invest in yourself. So financially, I can afford a couple of these fucking easy pass throws. I can afford to like do certain things and be like, all right, I got to come out to this show and then spend a little money, because in the bars, like, all right, like you produce it. But it's about investing. It's me putting together these shows, and like some days where like you eat off of them, some days you got to take a hit if the crowd isn't come through. But like I said, investing in yourself and just being every day. Like, to me, this is as dope. I knew it was gonna be dope when I got here. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think conversation got like good. I wasn't even as much of a clown as I wanted to be, but there's definitely shit that like needs to be heard. But I knew that like this is productive. Like when this shit dropped, it's gonna be like, oh, like there's definitely gems that were dropped, and like
that's a fact.
Understand that like, yo, there was a process, and I tell people sometimes like, yo, how you didn't make it before? I didn't have the knowledge. I've always been smart, but I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the effort. I didn't have all these things. I didn't have the timing. It just wasn't my time, right? It wasn't like, oh, like, yo, because I've been great at good at so many things. What am I like really great at? And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm great at like talking to people. I'm great at making somebody laugh. I do write my jokes, and I'm like very like strategic on how I like. So people are like, yo, come through, do like an open mic. I'm not an open mic dude. I definitely see myself bigger, but also I'm not gonna go. You don't ever know who's at those.
No, you have a structure. You have a structure.
Yeah, you never know who's at those open mics. So you could fuck around and be like, and somebody could be like, yo, I got Fat Man, and I'll fuck around and headline. And like, I'm not going to. I saw him for free, and he wasn't even that funny. He was trying to joke.
That's a fact.
So I'm a very strategic on how like I do things, but overall, like, this is the most prepared I've been. But I would go up right now and be like, somebody text me like, yo, we gotta like, I'll go give you 5-7 minutes because I know the structure there, I know like the energy there, I know the aura, but it's all about timing, man. Like, people think like, don't ever force something. Like, when it's for you, whether that shit is, listen, whether it's family, relationship, whatever, don't force it. Like, what's meant for you will come for you. Oof. And like, at this time, it came to me, and that was my time.
And with that said, man, gotta end it right there. Whew, peace, blessings, love. And you already know my slogan. Give thanks to that man above.
Live, love, prosper, y'all. Yeah.
Whew.